As a wallet or keychain full of loyalty reward cards that they use for discounts, gifts, and even free dinners at their favorite restaurants. For years, an international company has been offering a universal loyalty rewards card in Europe. We call it the Blue Card, one card to replace dozens. The Blue Card offers discounts up to 5% cash back. It even accumulates points to shop at participating merchants and an online mall. Today, they're looking for independent representatives to launch this card in the U.S. and Canada. It is free to get the card and free to become a representative. You could help launch the Blue Card in your area and get paid wherever it is used. Imagine you could be paid every time someone fills their gas tank, buys groceries, orders an airline ticket, or purchases just about anything.
To get your free Blue Card, go to bluecardshopping.com. That's bluecardshopping.com. bluecardshopping.com.
Hello, this is Bob Guess. For more than 35 years, I've made it my life's work to help people like you maximize your earnings and safety as you approach retirement. Earning a 9% return backed by hard assets dollar for dollar allows you, the investor, to have predictability on your return, which can help offset low returns with CDs, annuities, and the ups and downs of the stock market. One thing our fathers taught us after going through the Depression was that you don't want to be old and broke. When you work hard for your money, you expect your money to work hard for you. So call us today to get a stable, predictable return on your money. Get a 9% return backed by hard assets dollar for dollar. It's the best way to fight inflation and make sure that you won't be old and broke. Call us today at 972-570-4444. That's 972-570-4444 and get predictable returns and peace of mind. That's 972-570-4444.
You've helped make Lumber Liquidators North America's largest specialty retailer of hardwood flooring. To say thanks, we've made unbelievable price cuts on top quality floors at our customer appreciation sale. It's your chance to get refinished hardwood for just 99 cents. And Strand Bamboo, our most durable bamboo, from an incredible $149. Plus deals on 400 beautiful floors, including quality laminate from 49 cents. And 24-month special financing. You trust our value, we value your trust. So get to the customer appreciation sale today. Visit lumberliquidators.com to find a store near you.
660 AM The Answer. 660amtheanswer.com. Now, by popular demand, The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM The Answer.
You are listening to The Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Vanita Gupta, head of the Department of Justice Civil Rights Division, has told a lawyers group in Colorado that slavery and Jim Crow helped fuel the Ferguson and Baltimore riots. The last few days have seen a number of fanciful stories with the Obama administration seemingly questioning the authority of local police. Jay Christian Adams, friend of the Wells Report, has joined us from PJ Media. Jay, Christian, welcome back to the Wells Report. Good to have you here, sir.
Good evening, Jon-David.
How have you been?
I'm doing good. How about you?
You know, I've been watching this come down, and I was just talking about the Baltimore grand jury indicting the 6 police officers and the danger that Marilyn Mosby, the Baltimore state attorney, has, the danger she is putting out there to blow the case by virtue of what I consider to be really unnecessary and, yes, destructive grandstanding.
Yeah, and if you listen to her speech a couple of weeks ago when she announced the charges, it was all full of like this Occupy rhetoric, this sort of like raised fist kind of attitude. It was very strange. It's not the kind of thing you normally hear from a prosecuting lawyer.
And you certainly don't see it in 2015. You know, I mean, in 1965, well, okay, maybe, but 50 years later, I don't think so.
Yeah, the whole city of Baltimore is basically a Democrat-run, powerhouse, and so why are you giving speeches that sound some kind of like fight the power speech? It truly sounded like something you would have heard at Berkeley in 1969.
Exactly, and the thing about it is that they are yelling at themselves. I mean, you know, there were so many things that came out immediately after that. If you want to see the absolute quintessential perfect example of leftist politics, all you have to do is look at Baltimore. The president of the United States stands up and says, you know, it's because the Republicans haven't invested enough in the inner cities. $1.8 billion in the stimulus package. Ring a bell, Mr. President?
Yeah, and Baltimore itself has probably seen close to $1 billion since the Great Society started its journey toward failure. in 1965, 66. And what's happened? You look, your listeners probably don't get to see this very much. If you ever take a train through Baltimore, it looks like the apocalypse. There are blocks and blocks of boarded up windows and row houses built 150 years ago. People roaming the streets like zombies, sitting on their front stoop. I've never seen anything like it. If you need proof that the Great Society has failed, take a train through Baltimore and you'll see it.
You're absolutely correct. Same story with Detroit. And now comes Vanita Gupta, the head of the Department of Justice Civil Rights Division, trying to explain that slavery and Jim Crow fueled the Ferguson and Baltimore riots. This is something that you've written about in PJ Media.
Yeah, let's make sure everybody hears that correctly. Your radio is not mistuned. The DOJ, in fact, the official there who runs the Civil Rights Division, says that the Baltimore riots occurred because of slavery, because of Jim Crow. This is the craziest kind of stuff. You got to realize this is what these people believe. These are the people who have the power to go after Texas voter ID, to go after police departments around the country, to investigate Ferguson and investigate Baltimore. These are radicals who sound like some sort of loon from academia who are blaming slavery when people decide to do violence.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And your prose in this article is among your best. You've long maintained the administration is nakedly seeking to federalize policing standards, but get rid of local police? No, that sounds like something broadcast from a shortwave station in Austin, Texas. I had to bring that up. I thought that was colorful and right on point.
I guess you got the joke.
Yeah, I did. I don't know that many people will, but I got it. I understand completely. The thing I'm looking at here is, this is counterproductive. These people are chasing ghosts that no longer exist.
But see, this is how you keep America divided. This is how you keep a subset of the population perpetually angry with this racial grievance, this attitude that it's a screwed up country. It's got a racial stain on its soul it can't recover from. You're entitled to something. You need more money. You need more programs, just like the president's called for after the riots. You need more justice. If you don't get justice, you don't get peace. It's all part of a narrative that the left is pushing to dismantle law and order. And it's not an accident when people take the streets and start to burn things and steal police cars. It's part of it's not just a random event, Jon-David. You know this. Your listeners need to know it. There are people out there stoking these flames of discontent because they hate this country.
They do hate this country. They are un-American. They are the 60s radical wannabes that were 9 and 10 and enchanted as they sat in front of their televisions watching Compton burn.
Yeah, and they're playing with fire literally and figuratively, because I will never forget the story of Tom Brokaw telling about his family in North Dakota, I believe, watching the 68 Chicago convention and the riots there and the street unrest. That, America is still America in most places, and it's not tolerant of anarchist, racialist mayhem on the streets of the country. And so the left is playing with fire literally and figuratively by stoking this discontent. Because eventually people are going to rise up, and they ain't going to be afraid to talk about it. They aren't going to be afraid, like I think some candidates are sometimes, for political office. And people are going to push back. And the pushback, unfortunately, is never very pretty.
No, it isn't. And the thing about it is that when you get, like I have and you have, all of our lives, we've been accused of being racists for whatever reason was handy. Whenever we, say, for example, disagreed with the political debate du jour, we were obviously racists. And we've been dealing with that. And suddenly, after a while, like any weapon, it gets blunted with overuse. And what happens is that if you're going to be called a racist, why not deserve it at some level?
Yeah, and look at who the real racists are now. It's the thugs on the streets of Baltimore who ran through the restaurant district, picking out white people and attacking them and punching them in the face simply because they were white. That's a version of racism we haven't seen in this country for a very long time, and a very dangerous version of racism. And it shows you every race has bad actors. But do you see anything out of the Justice Department investigating those hate crimes? Of course not.
No.
Because it's one-way justice with this Obama Justice Department.
I've got to ask you, let's talk a little bit about the concept of social justice. This Vanita Gupta person that you're talking about, she's saying that because blacks in America have been wronged, they are justified in doing this destruction. Indeed, the mayor of Baltimore proper said the same thing. We need to give these people who wish to destroy some room. But the simple case of the matter is the Great Society brought billions upon billions upon billions of dollars to solve that very problem 50 years ago. And this is a 50-year, half of a century of liberal failure politics. I mean, there's nothing else to say.
Let's define for your listeners what social justice really means. When you hear it coming out of the mouths of people in Baltimore and in campuses, it means taking from people who have earned what they have, who have lived good lives, who have achieved, and giving it to people who make bad decisions, giving property, taxes, entitlements, benefits, land, favors, passes, refusal to prosecute them for violence. It means giving from people who have achieved and followed the rule of law and giving something to the lawless. When you hear people talk about social justice, that's what they really mean. They mean taking from the productive and giving to the unproductive.
Indeed. We are speaking with J. Christian Adams. He is the author of Injustice, Exposing the Racial Agenda of the Obama Justice Department. How much damage is going to be done to our society before this begins to settle down? What do you think?
I think an enormous amount. I mean, look, America was designed to treat people like they were created equal, and there's now a very vocal faction with tentacles into the White House, with tentacles all through the civil rights community, that is doing everything they can to divide America. And there was so much promise in 2008. Even if you didn't vote for the guy, you thought, well, finally we're going to be done with this garbage. Turns out it's gotten worse. Well, they have stoked the fires of racism.
Yeah, basically for the sake of being able to distance themselves from any criticism for policies that are plainly un-American. I mean, this is just a political process, is it not?
Yeah, it shields the president. This president has explicitly, through his spokesman Gibbs and this Fruit Loop that's there now, has constantly used race as a way to shield this administration from criticism. They're very good at it, but there's a lot of good people who have seen through it and are no longer afraid to speak out about it.
Now, are you talking about Josh Earnest? You're talking about
Josh Earnest.
Yeah, Josh Earnest.
I couldn't remember his name.
He's got a great future ahead of him as a used car salesman. I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
With all due respect to used car salesmen, I used to do that. Okay, so I got to be perfectly honest with you. I mean, Josh Earnest. Not since Ron Nessen have we seen such an impalement of someone's personal credibility. I don't know what he's going to do after this job, but whatever it is, I mean, it's really, really hard to find Baghdad Bob jobs. So as we move forward here, Vanita Gupta is attempting to try to justify all of this. And what I've noticed is, the rhetoric is so plainly reminiscent of Angela Davis, for example. You brought up Berkeley earlier. When you start looking at all of this, it seems to me that America will never have a better chance to be able to see through this, because to me, it's pretty transparently completely off the mark. I'm trying to figure out, what is your sense of the American people seeing that as well?
Well, they need to know about it. I mean, if I hadn't stumbled on that speech of Vanita Gupta and wrote a piece at PJ, America wouldn't have heard. Last night it was on the Kelly File. It's on your show that they blamed slavery for the Baltimore riots. There is an undercurrent of craziness in this administration. I'm not just talking about left of center. I'm talking crazy, like Angela Davis, who incidentally, I might add, Vanita Gupta's Civil Rights Division hires an organization called the Institute of Race and Justice to advise police departments. And guess who's associated with this group?
No.
Angela Davis.
You got to be kidding me.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Angela Davis is part of this group, and the Justice Department hires them to tell the police how to behave.
Isn't that incredible? I mean, I could see this resonant verbiage, this resonant rhetoric, if you will. I could see that, and I'm sitting there going, she sounds just like Angela Davis. How weird. I did not know that.
Yeah, I've written about that at PJ. I can't remember the name of the title of the article, but I get it. They've given this group hundreds of thousands of dollars to tell the police how to be sensitive, and Angela Davis works for them.
Good heavens to Betsy. Jay
like
Christian. Yeah, it is. It's like a ridiculous. It'd be funny if it wasn't so tragic. Jay Christian Adams is our guest here on the Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer. Okay, so how long? Some people have said that race relations have been set back 20 years. Do you see that going back that far? Do you think it'll take 20 years for us to recover from the Obama administration moving forward?
You know, it's hard to say how far back it's taken us. I think it's really taken us into an era where there wasn't hope. You know, after the Civil Rights Act and the Voting Rights Act, for a couple of years there was hope that we were going to finally have equality, and you know that we finally got rid of the barriers that stand in between the races. And I think there was more hope 20 years ago. I think it was better 20 years ago than it is now. It might be 50 years that has taken us back.
Good heavens.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's total polarization. When you look at the black polarization in voting, where 98% of black voters vote one way, and you have the rising rates of white polarization, 65%. These are not healthy numbers, and the president benefits from this because there's always going to be white crossover. But if you can polarize the minority electorate up to 98%, it helps you win elections.
You know, that's you're a brilliant man, and that's one of the most brilliant things I've ever heard you say. I'm not trying to blow smoke up your skirt, my friend, but that was really good. You made the promo.
All right.
You know, so everything else good? I mean, your work on PJ Media speaks for itself. It's, like I said, it's just unbelievably good. And I want people to go and find more of your work. What is the exact website?
It's pjmedia.com.
You can find pjmedia.com and then / J. Christian Adams, good friend of the Wells Report. And, sir, you know, I know it's late for you. I know it's just before 10 o'clock, and I really appreciate the fact that you would join us again.
Okay, Jon-David, anytime.
God bless, my friend. Take good care.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, J. Christian Adams, you know, right on top of it. Right on top of it. For goodness sakes, go to pjmedia.com / J. Christian Adams. Read what this guy talks about. It's amazing. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer.
The stock market is at record highs, but will it keep going up, or are we due for another major correction? The financial newspapers are reporting that record numbers of major investors are leaving the market. If you're worried about the roller coaster stock market, there are some alternative ways to grow your money and build a solid, predictable retirement. The team at Guardian Financial Management will show you how to grow your money and still sleep well at night. Tune in to Plain Talk, No Worries, Financial Hour each Sunday at 7 a.m. on 660 a.m. The Answer.
I had the home of my dreams, but one day I noticed cracks in the wall by the front door as well as the kitchen window. A neighbor recommended Abacus Foundation Repair. He said they're the best foundation repair company in Dallas, and they use an advanced system on your foundation called Millennium Composite Pilings that'll last 1,000 years. Well, I went to their website, abacusfoundationrepair.com, and saw that they have an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, and the world's leading service company review website recommended them highly. And the best part? They haven't had a complaint in the last 13 years. So I called them, and I'm happy I did. Abacus Foundation Repair guaranteed their work, and they gave me a lifetime transferable warranty.
If you see cracks in the walls of your home or your doors don't shut properly, call Abacus Foundation Repair at 972-406-9000. That's 972-406-9000. Or go to abacusfoundationrepair.com. If you want your foundation fixed right the first time, call Abacus Foundation Repair.
Have you been holding out for a good deal to replace your old AC system? Well, now there's a new program that's too good to pass up. I'm Jeff Stewart with Reliant Air Conditioning. You've probably already heard that you can save over $3,500 on a new Infinity system with Carrier's Cool Cash, but did you know that for a limited time, you can also get an additional $1,000 off from your utility provider? That's right, and when you combine these two programs, we're talking saving over $4,500 on a brand new AC system that can cut your electric bill in half. But the utility funds are limited, and the program will end when the money runs out. So right now, we're scheduling free estimates on a first-come, first-served basis. Call us now, or if you want, call 2 other companies first and then call Reliant Air Conditioning, and you'll see how we've been gimmick-free since '83. Our number's 877-YOUR-HERO. That's 877-968-7437 or online at ReliantAirConditioning.com.
Reliant Air Conditioning. Call 877-YOUR-HERO.
Are you suffering with hearing loss? Are you sick of people constantly complaining that your TV is too loud? Are you tired of asking people to speak up? Would you like to hear more clearly, but you don't want to wear a hearing aid that makes you look old? Then you need to try Listen Clear, a life-changing breakthrough precisely designed by top audio engineers to fit your ear almost invisibly. And you can adjust Listen Clear to find the perfect way to hear everything, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. And right now you can try Listen Clear absolutely risk-free with free shipping. We'll even give you free batteries for life. So call now, 1-800-661-2231. Listen Clear is lightweight and completely hassle-free, and it's practically invisible. Call for your 100% risk-free home trial with free shipping and free batteries for life. For free information, call now, 1-800-661-2231. That's 1-800-661-2231. 1-800-661-2231.
20 years of debt management services, nearly $100 million saved in finance charges. It's Trinity's 20th anniversary, and these are just a few of the milestones we're celebrating as we begin our third decade of helping people become debt-free for keeps.
My name is Mike. Trinity brought us relief by greatly reducing our interest and consolidating our bills into one easy-to-manage monthly payment.
Call 1-800-990-6976. 1-800-990-6976.
At Choice Hotels, we know business trips start with a choice. Stay or go. You can press send or press palms. Start a chat room or chat in an actual room. Just remember, opportunities won't come to you. You got to get out there to get things done.
Should I stay or should I go?
ChoiceHotels.com makes it fast and easy to find a range of Choice Hotels like Comfort Inn and Suites. So stay with us for business and book now at ChoiceHotels.com. You always have a choice.
In these uncertain times, you can't afford to take chances. So come on out to the Tier 1 Gun Show this weekend, May 23rd and 24th at the Mesquite Rodeo Convention Center. You'll find everything you need to protect yourself and your family. Guns, knives, ammo, accessories, survival supplies, and much, much more, all in a safe, fun, and family-friendly environment. Parking is free, so be sure to come on out and buy, sell, or trade at the Tier 1 Gun Show this weekend at the Mesquite Rodeo Convention Center. Saturday 9 to 5, Sunday 10 to 4. Visit Tier1Gunshows.com. Tier1Gunshows.com. Be there.
660 AM, The Answer. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You can find us live on Google Hangouts and YouTube live events. We are right there. If you go to my Facebook page, either JONDAVIDVOX or the Wells Report, what will happen is that you will find a link to the actual video feed of what's going on here in this lavish control studio. And I'm standing here trying to figure out how to look less geeky. I don't know that it's possible, but I'm going to give it a shot. I want to thank Jay Christian Adams one more time for joining us here on the Wells Report. His unique perspective from the inside of the Obama Department of Justice has served him and us very, very well over the years as we have taken a look at the way this very carefully crafted agenda has been laid out there. Most of this stuff would have been rejected out of hand, but the specter of being called a racist and making it stick in a mainstream media that is complicit was too much for the Republican Party to try to overcome. The voters knew what was going on. The voters came out with a situation where they said, you know what, we're going to give the Republicans more opportunity to have something to do with this government. It happened in 2012. It happened in 2014 and also 2010, actually. And so now we're in a position where the voters are knowing it. And even that plays into the racial scenario of the Obama administration. It is an evil, destructive game where no one wins. And you're listening to the Wells Report. More in just a moment.
Hey, everybody, Mark Davis. My friends at Climate Evangelist Eye Center wanted me to share something with you about DLS, dysfunctional lens syndrome. What is that? Well, let me ask you, are you over 40? Do you experience minor glare in your vision that you didn't used to have, or maybe poor near vision without your reading glasses, particularly in low light conditions? If so, you may be experiencing dysfunctional lens syndrome, DLS. The team at Climate Evangelista has a range of procedures designed to help you overcome DLS and enjoy an active lifestyle. So give them a call, 1-800-714-2020, 1-800-714-2020. Climate Evangelista has a dysfunctional lens syndrome screening. Following treatment for DLS, a lot of patients have reported a range of benefits: reduced dependency on readers or bifocals, improved night vision. It's a great deal, so call them 1-800-714-2020 or learn more about DLS by visiting dlsyndrome.com. That's the letter D, letter L, syndrome.com. And Climate Evangelist is always there for you at 1-800-714-2020.
Another hot Texas summer is upon us, and Mathis Air and Heat has a great offer for you right off the bat. With the American Standard All-Star Sales Event, Mathis Air is offering 100% financing and 0% interest for up to 60 months. That's 60 months of complete qualifying American Standard systems with approved credit or cash rebates. Mathis Air knows that's a home run, and with free estimates on equipment replacements, that's a grand slam. When it comes to service, call 972-279-4COOL for a $39 service call. Don't get thrown a curveball. Go with the company you can trust. As a certified customer care dealer, Mathis Air is about quality, honesty, and a great installation, because that's what matters most. Special financing or rebates available on qualifying products. See Mathis Air and Heat, your independent American Standard dealer, for details, or call 888-840-8084 for financing program details about credit costs. Offer expires June 30th, 2015. Make sure you're working with the best. Mathis Air and Heat. Call now, 972-279-4COOL. That's 972-279-4266.
We have an extra special free Money Matters retirement seminar Saturday at 1 p.m. in the Money Matters building on Dallas Parkway in Plano. If you're retired or retiring soon, it's too important to miss. Make your reservation at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net. Ken Moraif was featured in the Wall Street Journal, MarketWatch, CNN Money, Consumer Reports, and Forbes. Clients that followed his advice did not lose money in the crash of 2008. You still have time to attend if you register now at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net, or call 800-994-0302.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. Service of Salem Media Group on the NASDAQ as SALM, KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio, I'm Karen McHugh. Democrats rejecting calls by House Speaker Boehner for the administration to come up with a new strategy for battling ISIS.
Boehner believes Mr. Obama has to come up with a plan that can pass Congress.
The White House still insists that no new strategy is needed.
But House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi says it's up to Congress, since the Constitution leaves authorization for military action with lawmakers.
Fox News Radio's Chant Peregrine. 6 Baltimore cops have been indicted by a grand jury in the death of Freddie Gray.
Baltimore State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby says in certain cases the evidence calls for a revision of charges. She says that evidence led to the indictment. Mosby says the officers will have their day in court.
Fox Radio's Gernal Scott. Former Defense Secretary Robert Gates, now president of the Boy Scouts of America, says the organization must keep up with the times. He's calling for an end to the ban on gay troop leaders. Fox News. We report, you decide.
660 AM, The Answer.
Dennis Gibbs, the boat guy, here with the Big Boat and Outdoor Show. It's boating time, folks, so don't forget to tune in to the only boating talk show on 660 AM The Answer every Saturday evening from 6 to 7 p.m. Brought to you by BoatSelect.com, the site with thousands of boats for sale, or list your boat for free on BoatSelect.com. I know you have questions about your boat or one you're buying. Email those questions to me at BigBoatShow@yahoo.com.
This week on House Talk Today, it's Memorial Day weekend, and that means we're going to ask you for some of your favorite barbecue recipes for some great prizes. The latest updates on home improvement. The garden segment features Rebecca Miller this week, and of course, your phone calls. So enjoy the holiday weekend and tune in this Saturday afternoon for a little House Talk Today.
Tune in to House Talk Today, Saturday afternoons from 1 to 3 on 660 AM The Answer.
If you're turning on the AC for the warm days of spring and it's just not working or not cooling the way it should, time to call Walker Air Conditioning. Hey, Mark Davis. My friends at Walker are a family business, but big enough to cover North Texas, with reliable, honorable service for your AC units. No commission salesmen showing up. They're technicians sent to fix your problem at an affordable price. Oh, if it's time for a new unit, they've got all the best brands at all the best prices. But let Walker AC see what you need first. with techs who know what they're doing from a company you can trust. 52 years in the business, stellar customer reviews, A+ from the Better Business Bureau, specialists in AC and refrigeration for homes and business. Got a wine cellar, a wine fridge? They'll fix yours or install a new one. Walker AC, making sure you are cool and comfortable. Walker Air Conditioning. Website is walkerac.com. That's walkerac.com. Phone number is 972-4-WALKER. 972-4-WALKER. walkerac.com.
Over the last 20 years, we've seen some dramatic changes in health insurance. Higher and higher premiums, more complex plans, limited providers, fewer choices. While the world searches for a way to make healthcare work, Medishare has been faithfully doing it God's way, where Christians help Christians by sharing each other's medical bills. The cost savings are amazing, up to 60% lower than insurance premiums, and you never paid for things that go against your beliefs. Plus, you choose your own doctors from one of America's largest provider networks. Affordable, sensible, accepted. Medishare is healthcare that works.
Learn how thousands of Christians can help you save on your health care. For your free information guide, call 877-26-BIBLE. Not available in Montana. Medishare, affordable biblical health care. Call 877-26-BIBLE. That's 877-26-BIBLE.
This is an announcement for all people who want to take a risk-free challenge to whiten their teeth in 5 minutes. By calling now, you can whiten your teeth in 5 minutes using clinically proven power swabs. This risk-free challenge is for people whose smile has been yellowed by coffee, tea, red wine, or smoking. The Power Swabs 5-minute challenge is available by responding to this advertisement. If lines are busy, try again. Because the Power Swabs 5-minute challenge is exclusive, it's not available in drugstores. Power Swabs was formulated by Dr. Martin Ginniger and whitens teeth with a patented tooth detergent and whitening agent. It's so effective, we challenge you to try it for 5 minutes to see how white your smile could be. Get it risk-free. Dial 1-800-281-4037. That's 1-800-281-4037. Transform your smile into a wow, you look great smile. Dial 1-800-281-4037. That's 1-800-281-4037.
Hello, this is Bob Guess. Are you tired of low interest rates with the banks? I know I am. How about the deceptive terms and the bogus returns on annuities? Or maybe you're one of those who believe the stock market has actually peaked. Where can you get a decent return on your money without traditional risk? Well, I'm glad you asked. Texas First Financial offers a 9% return backed by hard assets dollar for dollar. $100,000 investment returns you $9,000 in interest. No gimmicks, no smoke and mirrors, just solid returns without stock market risk. Call Texas First Financial. We have an exclusive on this investment, so call us today at 972-570-4444. That's 972-570-4444. You'll be glad you did.
Rembrandt Rockefeller for Sovereign European Sleep Systems. Are you aware that your current mattress may contain a toxic little secret? Most mattresses contain flame-retardant chemicals that have been linked to serious health risks like infertility, low IQ scores, behavioral problems in children, and all sorts of cancers. So if you find this disturbing and you'd prefer not to sleep in toxic soup, take a trip to Sovereign European Sleep Systems. Their mattresses are third-party certified as free of harmful chemicals. Sovereign European Sleep Systems, Inwood and Lovers in Dallas. Learn more at SOVN.com.
660 AM, The Answer. 660 AM, TheAnswer.com. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to The Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. How you doing? 866-660-5759 gets you here toll-free from anywhere in the United States of America. 866-660-5759. I found out a couple of days ago about Fox News' plan for the first Republican presidential debate. It's going to be held August 6th in Cleveland. It's going to take place at the Quicken Loans Arena. That'll be the site of the 2016 GOP convention. It will be on from 8 until 10 p.m. Central Time. Yours truly will probably be doing something to at least cover it in some way, shape, or form, because that's really important, and we'll get back to you on that and let you know more. 3 Fox anchors will serve as moderators: Brett Baer, Megyn Kelly, and Chris Wallace. This is good because all of those people have no problem whatsoever in asking tough questions to Republican presidential candidates, especially Chris Wallace. Fox announced it would invite contenders who placed in the top 10 in an average of 5 national polls in the days leading up to the debate. And I'm not real sure I like that. Do I believe that the Republican Party needs to get their presidential candidates out there and have them start talking? Yes, I do. I do very much. Do I believe that Fox News Channel should be limiting who is on the debate stage? No, I do not. And you know, I have kind of I've got kind of a record when it comes to that. You know, the Wells Report was instrumental in getting Deborah Medina on a debate stage with Governor Rick Perry, and I believe, I can't remember who else it was. Who else was in, I guess it was, 2008? When Deborah Medina, we worked really, really hard to make sure that Deborah Medina was on that debate stage. And what she did is she did Rick Perry. Was it 06? Was it that far back? I don't think it was that far back. I could be wrong. Whatever. Anyway, the thing is this. What happened is that Deborah Medina really did Governor Rick Perry a favor because she exposed that he was weak in debates. Something that we would see later on in a presidential debate as Rick Perry tested those waters. And so what we end up with now is we have a circumstance where, all right, now we have just 10. Now, I realize we got a lot of people running. And if we were going to do those debates right this minute, here are the people that would be on the stage: Jeb Bush, Scott Walker, Marco Rubio, Rand Paul, Mike Huckabee, Ted Cruz, Ben Carson, Chris Christie, Rick Perry, and Rick Santorum. Any names missing from that list?
Carly Fiorina.
Carly Fiorina. Do you honestly believe that the Republican Party is going to show up with a presidential debate without Carly Fiorina involved?
Oh, no.
Oh, no. No, 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 no.
They have some explaining to do.
Yeah, they would have some serious explaining to do, right? You know, the Democrats have never been more depleted, and they have a real problem here. They only have one candidate. Only one candidate. The other two are just plain socialists. And oh, by the way,
she's bombing herself.
And she's bombing herself. She's absolutely taking herself right out of the game. So they're not going to have any debates worth having. And anybody that would listen to their debate would say, I'm not going to vote for a Democrat for another 20 years. You know, they start spewing out this socialist garbage, you know, where you rob from the rich and then rob from the poor and then rob from everybody until the whole thing collapses, is not something the American people are going to have anything to do with.
You got Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, Bernie Sanders. Yeah, I could just see Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, and Hillary Clinton. Yeah, the political commissars of the new Communist Party. Yeah, I mean, seriously. We'd have to change the name of the country to the United Socialist States of America, USSA. Yeah, that's what we'd have to do for those, if those people get anywhere close to power. And you know, that same cynical, scorched earth garbage that President Obama used to get elected in 2012, the so-called Obama coalition, which was more the Obama demolition. Yeah, the Obama demolition of blasting the country into fragments and then working to try to get the fragments to vote for him worked like a charm. All it did was damage the country for the next 20 years. That's what she's going to try to do again. And she's becoming more extreme in the process. So in the meantime, we're going to actually leave Carly Fiorina off the stage, according to these new rules by Fox News. No way. Yes, it's going to be a problem. Yes, it's going to be difficult. There are a lot of candidates, but everyone deserves to be heard. And you need to let the primary process work. Granted, our primary process in the United States of America is horrifyingly terrible. It's terrible. All it is designed to do is to give the parties in power an opportunity to manipulate the results as they see fit, to put the candidate that they want to see on the stages. That's all they're for. But crazy me, I keep getting back to the voters. I keep getting back to the voters. I keep saying, it's really up to us to decide who those candidates ought to be. It's not up to a television network, even Fox News. It's not up to a television network to decide who we get to vote for at all. So NBC tries to do some of this stuff, and the mainstream media covers its own. But arguably, the fairest network on television now, and by the way, the ratings prove it, now they're playing that game. Oh, really? I don't think so. And of these names, Jeb Bush, Scott Walker, Marco Rubio, Rand Paul, Mike Huckabee, Ted Cruz, Ben Carson, Chris Christie, Rick Perry, and Rick Santorum. If you're gonna take one of those names off the stage, which one's it gonna be? To put Carly Fiorina in. See, this is the kind of manipulation that has lost the Republican leadership the last two presidential elections. This is the kind of stupidity that snatches defeat out of the jaws of victory. 10 GOP contenders shared a debate stage in 2008. No presidential primary debate has included more than 10. There will be other coverage on Fox August 6th for any candidates who don't get invited to the debate. We are thrilled to host the first debate in Ohio, said Matt Borges, state GOP chairman. The road to the GOP nomination begins in Ohio this August and culminates with the Republican National Convention almost a year later. A Republican cannot win the White House without carrying our state. There's no better place to host the first primary debate. Agreed. I agree. But, when it comes to electing a national candidate, I really have a lot of trouble with the way we do it. I really do. Because what ends up happening is that we have this mess. And here's the mess that we have. Iowa gets to start by winnowing away the candidates. Iowa. As I recall, Rudy Giuliani, I think it was 2008, basically spent every dime he had in Iowa and didn't get anywhere and quit. Rudy Giuliani. Did he have something to say? Yeah. But he couldn't get out of Iowa. What is it about this corn-growing state in the upper Midwest? What is it about that state that gives them the right to determine who I get to vote for 3 months later? No, we've got to do something about that. And we have to do it fast. And it's not the politicians that are going to change it. These party politics, these party politic leadership people, they are very happy with this chaotic primary system that they have. They're very happy with it because they can manipulate it at will. And I say no. I want to hear what every single one of these people have to say. That's what I want to do. And if there are 2 hours, involved here, then what you do is you have two debates. You put 5 people up the first debate, you put 6 people up the second debate, or vice versa. You do it all by lot. And then what you do is you do a research project on your own after that. A national research project based on what people saw on the debate. And that's how you move forward if you're going to do this. If you're going to do it this way, have a 1-hour debate or make it a 3-hour situation where you have 90 minutes for the first group and 90 minutes for the second group. I don't think you'd have any problems finding viewership. And the reason I don't think you'd have any problem finding viewership is because this is another one of those incredibly important elections that we have got to get right in this country. And I don't want to elect somebody who keeps making mistakes, Jeb Bush, unless he can do something better. Unless he can come up with something that's better. Because I don't see his A game yet. Not anything close to it. And I don't think you do either. Now, look, I want to make this plain here. In the last two presidential elections, the big three networks chose who we got to vote for in the Republican Party. They got to do it because they were the people that had the headlock on the coverage. Now, I can't expect ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN to change their editorial policy for the sake of the nation. They don't give a tinker's dang about the nation. They don't care. But this has got to be something that has to motivate. This is something that we, the people, have to fix. And I will tell you as plain as day, the only group of politicians that I've seen in the last 20 years that is anywhere close to what I want to see in high public office are Tea Party candidates. And some of them are hit or miss. And some of them are kind of not real graceful when it comes to the stage that they walk on. But doggone it, we've been hiring these pasteurized, homogenized, slick, polished, razor-cut hair, $1,000 suit guys for the last 50 years, and look where we are. Yes, we've had good ones. We have. But we need more good ones. We need people who are not going to go to Washington, D.C. and spend the rest of their lives there. We need to put people there that are our neighbors. Like I've said several times on this radio broadcast, we can't vote for anybody we don't know. Greg in Quinlan, welcome to the Wells Report. Hi.
How you doing?
Good, man.
As far as I'm concerned, we got a problem. We need to find a way to get these guys heard, so at least we have a decent choice.
I send them invitations every day. Vicky and I work to get these people on this radio broadcast. And the only thing that I can tell you is that you have to demand it, Greg. You've got to demand it. Everybody within the sound of my voice, if you give $5 to any presidential candidate, you make sure you tell them that I need to hear more from you. I need to hear more of what you think. And if you don't know where to go, let me tell you about the Wells Report. You're listening to 660 AM The Answer.
Hi, this is Andy Tuttle, host of Tuttle Talk every Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer. We're in a real estate market where there's a lot of difficulty, but in difficulty, there's a lot of opportunity as well. Buying, selling, avoiding foreclosure, modifying your credit, all these things are so important to your livelihood. This show is dedicated to cutting through some of the big headlines that you see out there and teaching you how to win in any marketplace. Thank you for tuning in to Tuttle Talk every Sunday, 4 p.m. on 660 AM The Answer. I look forward to speaking with you.
Howdy folks, Crazy Gun Deal here, and I want you to know that nobody wants your gun business more than I do. To prove it this week, I have Taurus 709 Slim Pistols. Normal dealer wholesale was $286. Right now, I've got them for you for only $199. That's right, $199. Plus, I'll still give you free CHO classes, a free lifetime warranty, and a free range membership. Folks, this is in-store only, and while they last, so get here quick. That's the Crazy Gun Dealer in Alvarado, just 30 minutes south of Dallas or 20 minutes south of Fort Worth. Keep up with our crazy offers. Text CRAZY to 75309. Visit us at crazygundealer.com or give us a call at 855-329-GUNS. And finally, folks, I want you to remember, if I don't already have the best gun deal anywhere, I'll beat any price, anywhere, gun to gun, anytime, because nobody wants your business more than I do.
All offers and promotions subject to change or restrictions. See store for complete details.
When you pay your mobile phone bill, are you making a political statement? Probably so. You don't even know that it's politics you might not agree with. Hey, it's Mark Davis. Major mobile companies have given more than $50 million to liberal candidates and causes. Now there's a cellular company that gives 5% to conservative causes while still saving you money. Welcome to EOS Mobile. The same service, the same quality, a better price, and a better cause. Go to EOScell.com, EOSCELL.com. Meet a company that'll save you 10 to 15% on the same phone, data, and text plans. and their corporate contributions go to organizations and candidates for smaller government, a stronger America, and following the Constitution. Imagine that. And text and talk plans start at $9.99 with a free phone. Do you want part of your mobile phone bill to help Obama, Hillary, and that side of American politics? Great service, great prices, and support for conservative causes with EOS Mobile. Go to EOScell.com. That's EOSCELL.com. EOScell.com.
People who can afford a LASIK procedure sure are lucky. Imagine being able to throw away your contacts and glasses. Imagine waking up tomorrow with 20/20 vision. Too bad everyone can't afford LASIK. Well, guess what? There's a company that agrees with you. The LASIK Vision Institute is now offering dramatically low prices on high-quality LASIK to make it affordable for everyone. That means you get the latest FDA-approved LASIK technology for a fraction of what others charge. And if you call right now, we'll schedule a free appointment so you can discover if LASIK is right for you. Results may vary. Call 1-800-700-1851. Even better, if you're one of the first 100 callers, ask about an extra 20% discount off our already low-cost services. We've already performed over 1 million procedures. Let us help you. Discover how you can get the quality LASIK experience you deserve at a fraction of what others charge. For your free appointment, call 1-800-700-1851. 1-800-700-1851.
Okay, you're on. We're here live from Niagara Falls for this year's Spring Festival. Wait, what?
That'll do it.
Great job, Will. You two, what are you doing?
Sorry, Canada. You had a leak.
Look, it's Will Nell and Fred Thompson from American Leak Detection.
American Leak Detection.
Guys, come over here. Come here. All right. Here with me now are the guys with American Leak Detection. Please explain yourselves.
Well, at American Leak Detection, we have been detecting and repairing hidden leaks in your home for more than 25 years, big or small.
And all without damaging your home. We can even repair leaks in your swimming pools, since that time is getting close. Hey, looks like DFW needs us. Just go to AmericanLeakDetection.com to schedule us to come out. That's AmericanLeakDetection.com.
Warning, whether you're retired or soon to be retired, listen up. Do not be caught in one or more of the 11 mistakes retirees make that could cost you all of your money. It doesn't matter how well off you are financially, you could make the easy mistake that washes away all of your financial security. Call Optimum Retirement Planning today at 866-882-5447 to make sure that you are not wasting your money. Call now and receive your free copy of the 11 biggest mistakes retirees make and how to avoid them. 866-882-5447.
Learn a little something at the start of your day. The Mark Davis Show. Mornings 7 to 10 on 660 AM. The Answer. If it's important to you, it's on the Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. It'll be the Friday edition of the Mark Davis Show, which means it's a radio extravaganza. Yeah. 5 hours he's on the air from 5 until 8, coast to coast. And then from 8 until 10 for Texas only. Mark, what have you got planned for us tomorrow?
Hey, JD, good Thursday night. Big show tomorrow. It's always a big show on Friday, as in 5 hours worth. It's been a week of off and on rain, but the cascade of topics has been constant. And here comes a Friday show to give us a chance to take a pulse of all of it. 5 to 8 a.m., talking with the nation, about the nation, and the world on Morning in America. Then 8 to 10, Texas show. At 8:35, former CIA Deputy Chief Mike Morrell takes us behind the scenes of the CIA in his new book, The Great War of Our Time. So everybody come on in out of the rain and join us for a big Friday show anywhere in there between 5 and 10 a.m. on 660 a.m. The Answer.
Thanks very much, Mark. I sincerely appreciate it. Let me get to Charles in Dallas. Charles, welcome to the Wells Report. Hi.
Hi. I definitely think the primaries need reformed, and I'm really a proponent for instant runoff voting so that our voters can voice their opinion on more than one candidate. When they've got 12 or 25 to choose from,
sure,
we always get a liberal because he gets 3% of the vote and everybody else gets 1%, If we had instant runoff voting, we could see, what the voters really think about each of the candidates.
Yeah, this is one of those things where obviously what we're doing isn't working. We've lost the last two presidential elections, and arguably the 2008 presidential election was not going to be won by the Republicans, but 2012 was right there. It was right there in front of us, and we didn't bring home the bacon, to use an unfortunate Detroit phrase.
Right, but we keep putting up these candidates that we really don't want. The base doesn't get energized. You know, if just as many people had voted in 2012 for Republicans as in 2008, the Republicans would have won. The base isn't energized to get out because we get these candidates that don't energize us.
Yeah. Well,
we need to be able to get candidates that do, and we need to be able to have our voice heard in the primaries by something like instant runoff voting, where we can voice more than just on one candidate.
Well, you know, the only thing that I can say on that is that, you know, before we get to anything fancy like that, Charles, you know what I think we ought to do? I think what we ought to do is we just ought to have a closed primaries where Republicans vote for Republicans and Democrats vote for Democrats, up or down vote, no caucuses, no craziness, and we do it regionally. We do it regionally. You want it to be a contest. You want there to be competition because competition is the crucible of excellence. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to have Iowa, New Hampshire, South Carolina decide who we get to vote for farther down the line. That has just got to stop. I mean, we've got to be in a situation, like I keep saying, we need 4 primaries. 4. The Northeast, the Southeast, the Northwest, the Southwest. That's what we need. 4 primaries. And everybody votes together, and everybody votes the same rules. And it's you know, pick a candidate. That's the way to do it because everybody knows where they stand. It's straightforward, and that returns the process to the voters where it belongs. I don't have any idea why Reince Priebus still has a job. I don't have any idea. But he does. Still got a job. And he's lost twice. You know, I don't know whether this is a make or break, but I've got to tell you, you know, he needs to trust the voters. He needs to trust we the people. Thomas Jefferson did. And I tell you what, Thomas Jefferson had just a little more on the ball than Reince Priebus. I'm just saying, okay? The only people that know who the presidential candidates ought to be in a given party are the people of the United States. If the Republican Party would grab that, if they would just embrace that, then before you know it, they'd probably start winning more elections. And I dare say that our country may not necessarily be in a much better place, but it certainly would be in a different one. And as far as I'm concerned, a different one from where it is now is better. This is the Wells Report.
There are times when people need a little extra money. Honest, hardworking people like your neighbor, or maybe you. And some banks don't always make it fast or easy. But finally, there's a company who gets it. Avant. You simply go to avantoffer.com on your computer or phone to check your rate, risk-free with no effect on your FICO score. Complete your application in minutes, and the funds could be in your account as soon as tomorrow. If you need a loan between $1,000 and $35,000, go to avantoffer.com. Avant will give you a $50 Amazon.com gift card after you make your first payment on time. For this offer and to check your rate risk-free, go to avantoffer.com and enter promo code LOAN. That's AVANT offer.com. Promo code LOAN. Avantoffer.com. Promo code LOAN. Loans are made by WebBank and by affiliates of Avanti, and California loans offered by Avant are made under finance lender's license number 603K124. Funds are generally deposited via ACH for delivery next business day if approved by 4:30 p.m. Central Time, Monday through Friday. Amazon is not a sponsor of this promotion. Other restrictions apply. See website for details.
Another hot Texas summer is upon us, and Mathis Air and Heat has a great offer for you right off the bat. With the American Standard All-Star Sales Event, Mathis Air is offering 100% financing and 0% interest for up to 60 months. That's 60 months on complete qualifying American Standard systems with approved credit or cash rebates. Mathis Air knows that's a home run, and with free estimates on equipment replacements, that's a grand slam. When it comes to service, call 972-279-4COOL for a $39 service call. Don't get thrown a curveball. Go with the company you can trust. As a certified customer care dealer, Mathis Air is about quality, honesty, and a great installation because that's what matters most. Special financing or rebates available on qualifying products. See Mathis Air and Heat, your independent American Standard dealer, for details. Or call 888-840-8084 for financing program details about credit costs. Offer expires June 30th, 2015. Make sure you're working with the best. Mathis Air and Heat. Call now, 972-279-4COOL. That's 972-279-4266.
What's the scariest thing about going to the dentist? Opening your mouth or opening your wallet? Because just a simple cleaning can cost $100, and things like root canals can cost you hundreds more. If you don't have dental insurance to help, you should give Physicians Mutual Insurance Company a call. 1-800-200-9887. This isn't a discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance that helps pay for checkups right away. So you can call today and get your teeth cleaned tomorrow. Plus, it helps cover the more expensive procedures you might need down the road. Fillings, crowns, bridges, even costly dentures. There's no deductible and no annual maximum. Your acceptance is guaranteed for one of these insurance policies, even if you're retired or on Medicare. There are no networks, so you can choose any dentist you'd like. That's right, any dentist you want. Call in the next 10 minutes and we'll rush you a free information kit with all the details. 1-800-200-9887. That's 1-800-200-9887. 1-800-200-9887.
A Silicon Valley CEO is fired for opposing same-sex marriage. A teenage girl is attacked on campus for protesting abortion. And a college club loses formal recognition for being Christian. This is the country we live in today, in America, where people are punished for expressing themselves and then bullied into silence. If you don't agree with a certain liberal agenda, you're targeted for silencing. This is Eric Metaxas, and my good friend Kirsten Powers chronicles this frightening new trend in her brand new book titled The Silencing: How the Left is Killing Free Speech. With fearless candor, Kirsten gives us example after example of men and women who've been punished for expressing opinions that have been suddenly deemed unacceptable. The Silencing is a much-needed wake-up call for everyone who cherishes liberty. Who will be the next victim of the silencing?
Kirsten Powers' book, The Silencing: How the Left is Killing Free Speech, from Regnery Publishing, is now available at Amazon.com, Costco, and bookstores everywhere.
Did you know colon cancer is the second leading cause of cancer deaths in Texas, but that 90% of colon cancers can be avoided with early detection? Southwest Endoscopy and Surgery Center is the first facility in North Texas to use the revolutionary Fuse Full Spectrum Endoscopy System, enabling a 330-degree panoramic view of your colon. Due for a colonoscopy? Don't become a statistic. Insist on Fuse. Contact Southwest Endoscopy and Surgery Center at 817-293-9292 or visit swgiclinic.com.
We have an extra special free Money Matters retirement seminar Saturday at 1 p.m. in the Money Matters building on Dallas Parkway in Plano. If you're retired or retiring soon, it's too important to miss. Make your reservation at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net. Ken Murray was featured in the Wall Street Journal, MarketWatch, CNN Money, Consumer Reports, and Forbes. Clients that followed his advice did not lose money in the crash of 2008. You still have time to attend if you register now at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net or call 800-994-0302.
Saying I don't know is no longer acceptable. This is 660 AM, The Answer. Only for Texas. This is the Wells Report on 660 AM, The Answer.
Yeah, buddy. You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Thanks for listening tonight. I appreciate it. I do. We are discussing the wonders of political science. Yeah, I did that on purpose. Hey, you know Mark Davis. Mark Davis had a poster too today. He was awesome when he did it. It was almost like science. I know. I was really impressed with it. He really did a good job. 866-660-5759 is our fantastic number. Get you toll free from anywhere in the continental United States to this very studio. Dominic in Lantana, welcome to the show. Good to have you here, my brother.
How are you, sir?
I am wonderful. Thanks for asking.
You're welcome. Your last caller wants to have the base energized. What more energizing do we need than 8 years of boo-boo Barry Obama?
Well,
what do we want? 8 years of Hillary or Barry, whatever the heck that guy up?
Yeah,
in,
Barry Sanders.
Yeah,
not Barry Sanders. It's
Buddy,
Bernie
it's been a
Sanders.
long day. I just got off a plane.
You know what? I think Barry Sanders would be better.
Yeah, you're probably right. Actually, the ball boy would be better, and I don't even know his name.
Yeah, we wouldn't have to worry about inflation if we got the New England guys. Thank you.
I do like your idea though of the 4 primaries. I get very frustrated with having 95 Republicans getting on stage and beating the hell out of one another. I mean, that to me that just throws the ball game away. And maybe your idea is a good idea. I'd like to find out how we could get that to happen.
The best part about it, Dominic, is that every 16 years the cycle repeats. So the first time you do it, the first super primary is in the Northeast, and then the Southwest, and then the Northwest, and then the Southeast. And then what you do is you just keep rotating it around.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what ends up happening is that each section of the country has a chance to determine who the front runners are.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. You know, it's kind of sad, and I liked Mitt Romney, but man, he hit Evander Holyfield harder than he hit Obama when he had a chance to take him out.
You know, the thing about it is I loved Mitt Romney's line on that. He says, you know, it's much better to fight with Evander in the ring than it is to fight with the mainstream media, you know, outside the ring, because he knew that Evander was not going to hit him below the belt.
Yeah, that was a great line.
It was,
anyway,
indeed.
Sorry, bud.
No, go ahead. No, what were you going to say?
I was just going to wish you a very happy Memorial Day weekend and to thank you again for all that you do for everybody.
God bless you, Dominic. You know, you've been a great friend for a long time, and I really appreciate all your time. And thank you, Godfather, for that. Well, I hope we showed you proper respect. Got to show Dominic proper respect, things. That's something that you want to trifle with, if you know what I mean. Yeah, just. All right, so let's talk a little bit about what happened last night. What happened last night, or yesterday, in fact, was Rand Paul standing up in the Senate chamber and making an eloquent point, several eloquent points, in fact, regarding the NSA and mass collection of data that doesn't belong to them. And as is his style, at least so far, Jeb Bush is now on the wrong side of even that discussion, in my view. And I want you to tell me whether or not you agree. Former Governor Jeb Bush of Florida dismissed Senator Paul's filibuster against the mass collection of phone records authorized by the Patriot Act, saying the National Security Agency program is constitutional. Jeb, what are you doing? Who's helping him with his campaign? No one? I mean, the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals just said it wasn't constitutional, Governor. Well, why are you saying it is? I'm sorry, but we've already had one despotic president that speaks for all times and all people, on whatever whim of the day he happens to be focused on. We don't need another one, sir. That is no way, in any way, shape, or form, close to being constitutional. It is a rape of the Fourth Amendment and the absolute freedom of privacy that we, the people of the United States, have. Period, sir. Do I believe everything that Rand Paul says? No. I've got serious issues with a lot of what he believes in. But the Constitution isn't one of them. And Jeb Bush better get it together. He's got to get it together pretty quick, or he's going to lose this election. I mean, I would love to talk to him. Governor, what are you doing? I mean, do you see the way forward as a centrist president in the United States of America? John McCain saw that. Was he the president? No. Mitt Romney saw that. Was he the president? No. You're going right down that very same road. Why? Do you believe that you've got us, beaten into a pulp enough? Do you believe that the Republican Party has finally beaten the conservatives enough so that we will show up and vote for you anyway? The answer is no, sir. And this gets me back to what I've been saying. You can depend on Democrats to be Democrats. You can depend on liberal progressives to be liberal progressives. You can depend on all of that. The only people that can stop them, because the conservatives are too small a group right now, but not just keep talking like this. That group will get bigger and better before you can say, I lost, really? The only people that can stop them won't. Everybody says that the people that are trying to destroy the country are liberal Democrats. I disagree. I think the people that are trying to destroy the country are moderate Republicans. Look at what Jeb Bush just said. He just said that it is completely constitutional that the National Security Agency be able to go into every single one of our emails, our phone calls, our texts, everything at will, even though they don't have a single case, not one, where all of that was justified and actually worked in an anti-terror way. This is absolutely just plain spying on we, the people of the United States. And Jeb Bush is right there saying, oh, yeah, this is what we need to do. Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'm telling you, totalitarian countries are the safest places to live on earth, unless, of course, you upset the government, and then you just disappear. I think he's wrong in saying this is unconstitutional or saying the people's freedoms have been violated by the Patriot Act. I think we need to reauthorize the Patriot Act and put aside who's speaking where. The simple fact is that it's been an effective tool to keep us free and keep us from being attacked by Islamic terrorists. How? How many times were we attacked by terrorists before the Patriot Act? Once. How many times have we been attacked by terrorists since? Four times? Right here in town, in fact. Two guys grab assault rifles in Phoenix, Arizona. They broadcast their intentions to just about everybody. They drive all the way across the country to get to a free speech event by Pamela Geller here in Garland, Texas. Get out of their cars and start shooting. Wound a security guard and get blown away by one of the best shots in Texas. And nobody in the NSA knew anything about it. Yeah, the FBI sure did. They figured it all out. Absolutely. And they sent a memo that went absolutely nowhere. It didn't get to the Garland Police Department because it got sucked up in some room somewhere. And everybody goes, my goodness, we got to get this to the right people. And it didn't. Now, that's okay because that happens. There are a lot of moving parts in this. I got it. I'm not blaming those people. I'm not blaming them at all. But if you're going to spy on everybody in the country, you had better start showing some results. Because what it looks like right now is it looks like I've got a federal government camera down my pants, and I don't like it. And I want it stopped. And I don't know why Jeb Bush is talking about it. National Review says, save the Patriot Act, don't neuter it. We don't need it. It doesn't work. All it does is it savages our constitutional freedoms. Well, they're using our constitutional freedoms to defeat us. If you change your constitutional freedoms, Mr. Bush, they've already defeated us. What's the matter with you? Paul was joined on the Senate floor by several other senators, including Utah Republican Mike Lee, like that guy. Ted Cruz of Texas, really like that guy. A rival of Paul's for the GOP presidential nomination. Standing here with the senator from Kentucky, with the senator from Utah at 11:40 p.m., I'm reminded of the movie The Blues Brothers saying, Jake, we got to get this band back together again, said Cruz, who also supported Paul's 2013 filibuster and denunciation of President Obama's drone program. I'm reminded of previous evenings standing here with this same band of brothers in the wee hours of the morning. Unlike Paul, who wants the collection program to end entirely, Cruz and Lee support the USA Freedom Act, which would require a judge to issue a warrant before a federal government official could obtain phone records and data. Fine. That's America. But you got to have probable cause supported by oath or affirmation. And you don't, and you keep looking at our phone calls and texts and emails. No, sir. No. Well, there's not somebody listening to your telephone calls or reading your emails. That's not the point. The point is that by the very act of gathering those without a warrant and without reason, without cause, you have violated the Fourth Amendment. I don't care if they go directly into some government server somewhere, never to be seen again. If you have them and you weren't and they weren't addressed to you, you're in violation of the law and in violation of the Constitution. And I don't know about you, but I've had a belly full of the government setting aside both the rule of law and the Constitution of the United States. They can't handle it. They want to be able to set aside the perfect governmental document. They want to set it aside, but they've got nothing better. Not in any way, shape, or form. And Jeb Bush is right out there in front, shooting himself in the foot every single day. I don't know how many toes he's got. How many toes does Jeb Bush got left? Let's see. This one, he shot off one of his toes doing this one. Let's see. Amnesty, that was another one. So that little piggy didn't go to market. The other little piggy didn't stay home. You know,
he didn't have roast beef.
Well, yeah, now, but there are a couple of other things that he screwed up, right? So one little piggy doesn't have roast beef, and the other little piggy will have some, as it turns out. But he keeps shooting himself in the foot. President Bush, I know you listen to this broadcast. I know you're just, you can't possibly turn away from it. Not because it's a train crash. Well, it is a train crash from time to time, but that's not really the point. I know you listen, George W. Bush. I know you do. Ask your staff what my phone number is. Or actually, better yet, because I actually want your brother on the air, have him call Vicky instead. She's the executive producer. She's better at that than me. Have your brother call Vicky. W, please. Have your brother call Vicky. Schedule into the Wells Report. You can do it. Just have your brother schedule in so that we can get some of this taken care of. Because if we can do that, then maybe I can get him to understand some stuff. Or maybe he can get me to understand some stuff. Because I'll tell you, the things that we keep hearing out of Jeb Bush right now are bewildering everyone I know. Maybe you know what he's doing. Maybe you can call and explain it. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer.
The stock market is at record highs, but will it keep going up, or are we due for another major correction? The financial newspapers are reporting that record numbers of major investors are leaving the market. If you're worried about the roller coaster stock market, there are some alternative ways to grow your money and build a solid, predictable retirement. The team at Guardian Financial Management will show you how to grow your money and still sleep well at night. Tune in to Plain Talk, No Worries, Financial Hour each Sunday at 7 a.m. on 660 AM. The Answer.
This week on House Talk Today, it's Memorial Day weekend, and that means we're going to ask you for some of your favorite barbecue recipes for some great prizes. The latest updates on home improvement. The garden segment features Rebecca Miller this week, and of course, your phone calls. So enjoy the holiday weekend and tune in this Saturday afternoon for a little House Talk Today.
Tune in to House Talk Today, Saturday afternoons from 1 to 3 on 660 AM, The Answer.
Are you suffering with hearing loss? Are you sick of people constantly complaining that your TV is too loud? Are you tired of asking people to speak up? Would you like to hear more clearly, but you don't want to wear a hearing aid that makes you look old? Then you need to try Listen Clear, a life-changing breakthrough precisely designed by top audio engineers to fit your ear almost invisibly. And you can adjust Listen Clear to find the perfect way to hear everything, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. And right now, you can try Listen Clear absolutely risk-free with free shipping. We'll even give you free batteries for life. So call now, 1-800-661-2231. Listen Clear is lightweight and completely hassle-free, and it's practically invisible. Call for your 100% risk-free home trial with free shipping and free batteries for life. For free information, call now. 1-800-661-2231. That's 1-800-661-2231. 1-800-661-2231.
Business owners, listen up. Give me an I.
Give me an M.
Give me a C. What's that spell? Incorporation, protection, success. Incorporate your business.
INC. If you're about to start a business, these three little letters can make the difference between making a fortune and losing everything. Because if you're not incorporated and someone sues your business, you can lose it all. Your home, your car, even your life savings. That's why Incorporate.com is now giving away a free incorporation guide to all business owners, so you can incorporate or form an LLC in just 10 minutes. Protect your home, protect your car, protect your life savings. Call 1-800-500-9483 for your free 10-minute incorporation guide from Incorporate.com. They don't provide legal or financial advice. They just make incorporating quick and easy.
Incorporation, protection, success. Incorporate your business.
Call now for your free guide. 1-800-500-9483. That's 1-800-500-9483.
We are visiting our friend Chef Tom Fleming at Crossroads Diner. What do you have cooking today, Tom?
We've talked before, and it's great to talk to you again. Let me ask you a question. When you're going to those other breakfast places, are they making stuff in-house? You should ask them. Because at the Crossroads Diner, well, we make a lot of things in-house. You might ask, what? Well, let me help you. Well, there's the sticky buns, our homemade pancake mix, our whole wheat pancake mix, biscuits made in-house, sauces made from scratch, jams and jellies, our chorizo, Italian sausage, our quiche. I could go on. But really, you just need to ask the other guys, are they doing that? Because I don't think they are, but know that we are.
Come eat with us. We're off of Walnut Hill, just east of 75. Open for breakfast and lunch Tuesday through Sunday, 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Or visit us on the web at crossroads-diner.com. Home-style goodness meets traditional diner. Great recipes, fresh ingredients, comfortable environment, and genuine hospitality are the heart and soul of Crossroads Diner. We'll be waiting for you.
Rembrandt Rockefeller for Sovereign European Sleep Systems. Did you pay a lot for that, quote, top-of-the-line mattress, and is it already breaking down and uncomfortable? Time to look into a Sovereign European Sleep System. The Sovereign bed is simply a better bed, made with certified organic cotton and wool and 100% natural latex cushioning, never polyurethane, never memory foam. Custom tailored for greater comfort based on your size, weight, and primary sleeping positions. European quality and components at made-in-America prices. Sovereign European Sleep Systems, Inwood and Lovers in Dallas. Learn more at sovn.com.
In these uncertain times, you can't afford to take chances. So come on out to the Tier 1 Gun Show this weekend, May 23rd and 24th at the Mesquite Rodeo Convention Center. You'll find everything you need to protect yourself and your family. Guns, knives, ammo, accessories, survival supplies, and much, much more, all in a safe, fun, and family-friendly environment. Parking is free, so be sure to come on out and buy, sell, or trade at the Tier 1 Gun Show this weekend at the Mesquite Rodeo Convention Center. Saturday 9 to 5, Sunday 10 to 4. Visit tier1gunshows.com. Tier1gunshows.com. Be there.
660 AM. 660 AM. The Answer. 660 AM. TheAnswer.com. The Wells Report. A daily good old-fashioned North Texas barbecue of anybody trying to take advantage of us on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Do you have to have a college degree to be the president? Yes or no, and why? 866-660-5759. Do you have to have a college degree to be the president of the United States? Yes or no, and why? The reason I'm asking is because one of the front runners, and he's really good, by the way, is Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker. He does not possess a college degree. He left school in the spring of his senior year, so he's very close. I mean, it would just take a couple of classes to get his degree. But his lack of a degree was one of the questions that arose during his meetings in Washington with dozens of Republican U.S. House members. Do you have to have a degree to be the president of the United States? Yes or no, and why? 866-660-5759. Near as I can tell, I think the only person that was the president of the United States in recent times that did not have a degree, I believe, was Harry Truman. I don't believe Harry Truman had a degree. And as far as I know, he did pretty well, you know? And I'm trying to figure out whether or not that is a prerequisite for success as the president of the United States. 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. This is the Wells Report.
Dennis Gibbs, the boat guy, here with the Big Boat and Outdoor Show. It's boating time, folks, so don't forget to tune in to the only boating talk show on 660 AM The Answer every Saturday evening from 6 to 7 p.m. Brought to you by BoatSelect.com, the site with thousands of boats for sale, or list your boat for free on BoatSelect.com. I know you have questions about your boat or one you're buying. Email those questions to me at bigboatshow@yahoo.com.
Hello, this is Bob Guess. For more than 35 years, I've made it my life's work to help people like you maximize your earnings and safety as you approach retirement. Earning a 9% return backed by hard assets dollar for dollar allows you, the investor, to have predictability on your return, which can help offset low returns with CDs, annuities, and the ups and downs of the stock market. One thing our fathers taught us after going through the Depression was that you don't want to be old and broke. When you work hard for your money, you expect your money to work hard for you. So call us today to get a stable, predictable return on your money. Get a 9% return backed by hard assets dollar for dollar. It's the best way to fight inflation and make sure that you won't be old and broke. Call us today at 972-570-4444. That's 972-570-4444 and get predictable returns and peace of mind. That's 972-570-4444.
When you pay your mobile phone bill, are you making a political statement? Probably so. You don't even know that it's politics you might not agree with. Hey, it's Mark Davis. Major mobile companies have given more than $50 million to liberal candidates and causes. Now there's a cellular company that gives 5% to conservative causes while still saving you money. Welcome to EOS Mobile. The same service, the same quality, a better price, and a better cause. Go to EOScell.com, EOSCELL.com. Meet a company that'll save you 10 to 15% on the same phone, data, and text plans, and their corporate contributions go to organizations and candidates for smaller government, a stronger America, and following the Constitution. Imagine that. And text and talk plans start at $9.99 with a free phone. Do you want part of your mobile phone bill to help Obama, Hillary, and that side of American politics? Great service, great prices, and support for conservative causes with EOS Mobile. Go to EOScell.com. That's EOSCELL.com. EOScell.com.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group on the NASDAQ as SALM, KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio, I'm Karen McHugh. With help from the GOP, the president's push for a fast-track trade agreement clears the Senate. That's upset many in his own party.
Massachusetts freshman Elizabeth Warren vocally opposing President Obama on this free trade package. Warren led the charge.
The press hasn't seen the deal. Economists haven't seen the deal. Why? Because the administration has classified the deal.
Fox's Mike Emanuel reporting. Did the engineer in last week's fatal Amtrak wreck in Philadelphia commit a crime?
Investigators trying to determine whether Brandon Bastian was reckless or negligent when the train approached a curve at 106 miles an hour seconds before the crash. Legal experts say reckless endangerment, involuntary manslaughter, third-degree murder, and aggravated assault are among the charges likely under review.
Fox's Jane Metzler. 6 Baltimore cops indicted by a grand jury in the death of Freddie Gray. Fox News, we report, you decide.
This is 660 AM, The Answer.
Hi, this is Andy Tuttle, host of Tuttle Talk every Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m. right here on 660 AM, The Answer. We're in a real estate market where there's a lot of difficulty, but in difficulty, there's a lot of opportunity as well. Buying, selling, avoiding foreclosure, modifying your credit, all these things are so important to your livelihood. This show is dedicated to cutting through some of the big headlines that you see out there and teaching you how to win in any marketplace. Thank you for tuning in to Tuttle Talk every Sunday, 4 p.m. on 660 AM The Answer. I look forward to speaking with you.
From Plano to Denton down to Louisville too. Hot-Finds has it. Also in McKinney, we'll prove it to you. Hot-Finds has it. Service, selection, savings, and more. Feel the excitement when you walk through our door. Hot-Finds has it. Hot-Finds. Hines has it.
And now, during Huff Hines Vehicle Upgrade Month, get in a new Huff Hines Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, or Ram for perhaps a lower monthly payment than you're presently paying during Huff Hines Drive and Discover event. This means newer technology, reduced maintenance and repair costs, a longer and more comprehensive warranty, increased safety, and better gas mileage and finance terms. For more, click to HuffHines.net or come to Huff Hines Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram in Plano and Louisville.
Do you have an IRA or an old 401k from a previous employer? I'm Jon-David Wells from the Wells Report for InvestingMakesMeSick.com. Are you wondering about how to grow your investments to get to retirement, but want more choices than stocks, bonds, mutual funds, or annuities? Do you even understand your current investments? Let me introduce to you Walt Parker.
JD, as usual, the message is quite simple. There are many more investment choices than you realize. You worked hard for your money for years, and now is the time to understand your investments and know your choices. InvestingMakesMeSick.com offers education and our We Come to You service and more choices than just stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and annuities.
Yes, sir. To schedule an appointment with Walt or an InvestingMakesMeSick.com advisor, call 972-463-3833, 972-463-3833, or log on to InvestingMakesMeSick.com. All investments involve risk. Investments may be considered speculative and incur substantial fees and expenses borne by the investor. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Titan Securities. InvestingMakesMeSick.com and Titan Securities are not affiliated.
There's nothing like foundations in the springtime. Oh, it's a time of change. Hey, Mark Davis from my friends at Abacus Foundation Repair. And with drought and then moisture and then cold and then warm temperatures, your foundations are moving and grooving. You got cracks in the sheetrock and doors that are sticking and all kinds of problems. You want someone who's going to solve them reliably. Call my friends at Abacus Foundation Repair. They've done stuff for me, and you will love how they put somebody on site for your entire foundation repair. They're the only people with Millennium composite pilings. You're going to get a warranty that you can hand down to other homeowners. It's peace of mind and security for your foundation repair. 972-406-9000, 972-406-9000, or abacusfoundationrepair.com. Don't be one of those homeowners that says, oh, I wish I'd called a better company. Call the best company right now. Abacus Foundation Repair, 972-406-9000, 972-406-9000, or Abacus, ABACUS, abacusfoundationrepair.com.
It seemed like every year we were paying higher premiums with higher deductibles for these complicated healthcare plans we really couldn't afford to use. Then a friend told us about MediShare. It's Christians across America who share each other's medical bills. We found a family option that was exactly what we were looking for, and the cost savings were amazing. As a family of four, we had been paying $940 a month. Now with MediShare, we pay $420. That's less than half the cost of insurance. Talk about some huge stress relief. MediShare is healthcare that really works. Learn how thousands of Christians can help you save on your healthcare. For your free information guide, call 877-26-BIBLE. Not available in Montana. MediShare, affordable biblical healthcare. Call 877-26-BIBLE. That's 877-26-BIBLE.
This is an announcement for all people who want to take a risk-free challenge to whiten their teeth in 5 minutes. By calling now, you can whiten your teeth in 5 minutes using clinically proven power swabs. This risk-free challenge is for people whose smile has been yellowed by coffee, tea, red wine, or smoking. The Power Swabs 5-minute challenge is available by responding to this advertisement. If lines are busy, try again. Because the Power Swabs 5-minute challenge is exclusive, it's not available in drugstores. Swabs was formulated by Dr. Martin Ginniger and whitens teeth with a patented tooth detergent and whitening agent. It's so effective, we challenge you to try it for 5 minutes to see how white your smile could be. Get it risk-free. Dial 1-800-281-4037. That's 1-800-281-4037. Transform your smile into a wow, you look great smile. Dial 1-800-281-4037. That's 1-800-281-4037.
660 AM, The Answer. 660 AM, TheAnswer.com. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Thanks very much for joining us at 866-660-5759. You can also join us on Facebook Live events, not Facebook Live events, YouTube Live events. Go to Facebook to get the link on either of my Facebook pages, JONDAVIDVOX, Facebook at Jon-David Vox, or Facebook and The Wells Report. You can find us there, and we've got a very fine video shot, even though Vicky hates it. She absolutely hates it. So, Scott Walker does not have a college degree. It wouldn't take much for him to get it. He left in the spring of his senior year, so he could get his degree from Marquette pretty much anytime he wanted to. But he's running for president, and I want to know: do you have to have a college degree to be the president of the United States? Let me get to Shane in Azle, Texas. Shane, thanks very much for joining us. Hi.
Good evening, Jon-David.
Hey.
Well, let's see. The question I was asking your call screener is, when I went to college anyway, I only went for 2 years. I don't have a degree. But when I was there, I don't recall any courses or masters in presidential politics. So I don't see how any other degree would be any more relevant. Man is obviously educated. His accomplishments speak for themselves. So I would say no.
Okay. All right. Cool deal. Yeah. Thanks very much. I appreciate that. David in Hutchins, Texas. Welcome to the Wells Report. Hi.
How you doing, Jon-David?
Hanging tough. Living large, brother.
Well, there's only 3 requirements to be president of the United States.
Uh-oh. Buckle your seatbelts. What are they?
Okay. First, you must be a natural-born citizen.
Yes.
And you can be born abroad, like if a parent is a U.S. citizen and you might be a military brat or whatever and born out of the country, out of the continental.
Right.
2 is you must be at least 35 years of age.
Yes, that's true.
3, that most people never mention, you have to live at least 14 years in the confines of the United States of America. And it's never been challenged where that's consecutive or a year here, a year gone, a year here, a year gone. It's never been challenged. That's the only 3 requirements to become president of the United States.
Yep, and college isn't there, is it?
No, it's not.
Gotcha.
I tell you what, if you get a chance to interview Cruz or Mike Lee or Rubio,
sure.
May I ask you a favor?
Yes.
Tell him to stand behind Scott Walker because we still need those guys in the Senate to keep things straight.
You know, Ted Cruz said that himself. He said that the real battleground for the future of America was going to be the United States Senate, and he's exactly right.
There's other guys in there. I just can't pull them off the top of my head right now because driving the truck, I'm always listening to different states, whether it be you or I might be Michael Brown or whoever. You know what I mean? And
whoa!
These guys are great.
Hold on. You listen to other people?
When I drive the truck, I can't get 6:60 a.m. when I'm in Houston.
Well, why don't you use your smartphone and listen on iHeartRadio?
It's $2,700 fine to a truck driver to have that phone up to my ear, and $11,000 to the company as I can now operate a commercial vehicle if I get popped.
You've got an answer for everything, don't you?
I'm supposed to. You know why?
Why?
I used to do the close ground support in Vietnam, and now I drive a truck, and I don't want to hurt nobody when I run them over in the car.
All right, David, keep it on the, rubber side down, shiny side up. You got all that?
You guys are doing great, and do me a favor.
Yep.
Tell Vicky I like her again.
Okay, I will. Yeah, Vicky's wonderful. She's the very best there ever was. She's the best executive producer in American radio. There's no doubt about it. Okay, so I have put forward a couple of things here on this radio broadcast that I want you to take with you, regardless of where you go and who you listen to or what have you. There are a few things that we know on this broadcast that not only stand the test of time, but stand the test of reality. One of the things that we hit on last week is that I don't believe there is a leftist political agenda that doesn't rely on good old-fashioned dishonesty. And there's another example of it in the news. And it's really interesting. The slipshod reporting of it in the American press is fortunately counterbalanced by reasonable journalism from offshore. In order to find this story, I had to go to London, England, and The Guardian. Listen to this. The senior author of a study claiming to find that a brief face-to-face conversation with a gay political canvasser had the ability to soften the opinions of those opposed to same-sex marriage. The senior author of that study that claimed that fact has now retracted the study, claiming there were errors in his co-author's work. The study, which was published in Science in December and widely covered in the media, found support for same-sex marriage climbing among voters who had a single conversation with a gay or lesbian canvasser. In addition, the authors found that the change views not only lasted for at least a year, but also positively influenced the opinions of other members of the household. The optimistic slant on human nature provided by the research evaporated this week when Professor Donald Green, the main author of it, retracted his paper. He is a professor of political science at Columbia University in New York. He has now come to the conclusion that while hundreds of California residents were canvassed for the study, follow-up surveys on which the results were predicated may have been fabricated by his co-author, Michael LaCour. Quote, "It's hard to convey to you the mountain of fabrication that accumulated in our Dropbox folder over many, many months," unquote. Announcing his decision to withdraw the findings in a statement posted on the website Retraction Watch, Green wrote this, quote, "I am deeply embarrassed by this turn of events and apologize to the editors, reviewers, and readers of Science," the website, unquote. LaCour is a graduate student at the University of California, Los Angeles, UCLA. He did not respond when contracted for a comment, but said on Twitter that he had read the report and was gathering evidence and relevant information so I can provide a single comprehensive response. I will do so at my earliest opportunity. Right. The claims came after a group of researchers were unable to replicate the study's findings. That darn pure peer review process. David Brookman, a graduate student at Stanford, Joshua Kalla, a graduate student at the University of California, Berkeley, and Peter Aronov, an assistant professor at Yale, found a series of statistical errors in the data that raised questions about the integrity of the study. Quote, not one of the irregularities we report alone constitutes a definitive evidence that the data were not collected as prescribed, unquote. However, the accumulation of many such irregularities, together with a clear alternative explanation that fits the data well, leads us to be skeptical of the data that was collected and described. The three researchers approached Green with their concerns on Saturday, sent the report to the findings of irregularities on Sunday. Green said he had not been personally involved in the raw data collection or analysis, and that there had been no hints until now that it could have been fraudulent. The canvassing part of the study really did happen, but it seems that the surveys never measured the outcome. That did not seem to take place. Ironically, a study was conducted. We just don't know what the outcome was. Green said that after being skeptical about the results from an initial study in which around 500 people were canvassed and purportedly recontacted in a telephone survey, he asked LaCour to produce or reproduce the findings a second time. They did it again in August 2013. After I saw those results, I was convinced. I thought, I've seen the magic twice now. He adds he's baffled about the motivation for any instance of scientific fraud. Really, Professor? You're baffled, are you? It's hard for me to understand. If you go to the trouble of doing the experiment, don't you want to know the actual results? All that work gone to waste, unquote. Green said he fears the episode will inevitably cast a shadow over his own scientific reputation. It's unfortunate, but likely that when the last chapters of my life are written, this is going to be mentioned in it, even though it's an unexpected tragedy. After being alerted to the concerns last week, Green contacted Lynn Vavrek, a professor of political science at UCLA, and LaCour's graduate advisor, who approached LaCour on Monday. According to Green, LaCour initially claimed that he had deleted the source file accidentally, but a representative for the research software company that was used for the study who examined the account reportedly found no evidence of such a deletion. By Tuesday, LaCour allegedly confessed that he had not used the study's grant money to conduct the surveys. He just made them up out of whole cloth. He made them up out of whole cloth. Michael LaCour's failure to produce the raw data, coupled with the other concerns noted above, undermines the credibility of the findings, Green said in a letter. The Retraction Watch blog noted that LaCour was due to become an assistant professor at Princeton starting in July, but mention of that has since been removed from his personal website. Do you see this? What if he had gotten that job? What if he had gone to Princeton? He went to Princeton, and what ends up happening is that he starts teaching people bunk. And he points at papers that were wrong. It's unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable. Martin Mbugawa, that's M-B-U-G-U-A, Bugwa, a spokesman for Princeton, confirmed the university had offered LaCour a teaching position at this time. He said the university is reviewing all available information to determine its next steps. Hey, you got to hire authentic people to do authentic work. That's all there is to it. David Fleischer, the leader of the Los Angeles LGBTQRSTUVWXYZ, LGBTQRSTUVWXYZ, who led the canvassing for the study, said, "We were shocked and disheartened when we learned yesterday of the apparent falsification of the data by independent researcher Michael LaCour. We are not in a position to fully interpret or assess the apparent irregularities in the research. We do not have access to the full body of information and by design have maintained an arm's-length relationship with the evaluation of the project." Green says he hopes now to redo the work from scratch. One way to frame the story is as a tawdry tale of scientific misconduct, which it surely is. But this is also a story of how scientific research has a self-correcting component to it. You make something up, someone tries to replicate it and can't, the whole thing unravels. More about this in just a couple of seconds. You're listening to the Wells Report on 660 AM The Answer.
This week on House Talk Today, it's Memorial Day weekend, and that means we're going to ask you for some of your favorite barbecue recipes for some great prizes. The latest updates on home improvement. The garden segment features Rebecca Miller this week, and of course, your phone calls. So enjoy the holiday weekend and tune in this Saturday afternoon for a little House Talk Today.
Tune in to House Talk Today, Saturday afternoons from 1 to 3 on 660 AM The Answer.
Another hot Texas summer is upon us, and Mathis Air and Heat has a great offer for you right off the bat. With the American Standard All-Star Sales Event, Mathis Air is offering 100% financing and 0% interest for up to 60 months. That's 60 months on complete qualifying American Standard systems with approved credit or cash rebates. Mathis Air knows that's a home run, and with free estimates on equipment replacements, that's a grand slam. When it comes to service, call 972-279-4COOL for a $39 service call. Don't get thrown a curveball. Go with the company you can trust. As a certified customer care dealer, Mathis Air is about quality, honesty, and a great installation because that's what matters most. Special financing or rebates available on qualifying products. See Mathis Air and Heat, your independent American Standard dealer, for details. Or call 888-840-8084 for financing program details about credit costs. Offer expires June 30th, 2015. Make sure you're working with the best. Mathis Air and Heat. Call now, 972-279-4COOL. That's 972-279-4266.
What's the scariest thing about going to the dentist? Opening your mouth or opening your wallet?
because just a simple cleaning can cost $100, and things like root canals can cost you hundreds more. If you don't have dental insurance to help, you should give Physicians Mutual Insurance Company a call. 1-800-200-9887. This isn't a discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance that helps pay for checkups right away. So you can call today and get your teeth cleaned tomorrow. Plus, it helps cover the more expensive procedures you might need down the road. Fillings, crowns, bridges, even costly dentures. There's no deductible and no annual maximum. Your acceptance is guaranteed for one of these insurance policies, even if you're retired or on Medicare. There are no networks, so you can choose any dentist you'd like. That's right, any dentist you want. Call in the next 10 minutes and we'll rush you a free information kit with all the details. 1-800-200-9887. That's 1-800-200-9887. 1-800-200-9887.
Hey, Jim, come on in. Bill, this is such a great house. Thanks. 3 beds, 2 baths, and wait till you see the pool. How'd you get the down payment? We didn't have to. We called NASA Federal Credit Union at 855-374-NASA and got a zero-down fixed-rate mortgage with no private mortgage insurance on a jumbo loan. You must be saving hundreds a year with no PMI. More like thousands. And with no money down, we were able to add the pool. And it was fast. We got pre-qualified online in seconds and closed our loan within 30 days guaranteed. If you're buying a home, you gotta call NASA Federal at 855-374-NASA or visit nasafcu.com/374.
Wow, with zero down and no PMI, we could buy that house Jen likes and furnish it too. But you don't work for NASA.
You don't have to work for NASA to get a mortgage with NASA Federal. Just call 855-374-NASA or visit nasafcu.com/374.
Thanks for the tip. Now can I see the pool?
Equal housing lender. Offer valid on approved credit for primary residences. Membership eligibility required. For more details about credit cost terms and conditions, call 855-374-NASA.
Hey, everybody. Mark Davis for my friends at ViaScan of Las Colinas. We're always concerned about heart disease and cancer, and we should be. You ever hear those stories about the first sign that somebody had of heart problems when they died of a heart attack? The first evidence of any kind of cancer was after it was too big to be operable. Early detection is everything. Information is power, and honestly, sometimes information is survival. This is what ViaScan of Las Colinas is all about. ViaScan of Las Colinas. My friend John Duncan and the gang with the body scan, the well-view scan, they call it, all the vital organs there between the shoulder and the pelvis, making sure there's no heart plaques or blockages, no little cancer spots that could rise up and take you down. This is affordable, preventive healthcare. It is not uncomfortable. It is not claustrophobic. It's fantastic. I love it, and I love the information. It's good to know what's going on inside your body. Be ViaScan certain. 972-739-2840, 972-739-2840, or just Google ViaScan.
We have an extra special free Money Matters retirement seminar Saturday at 1 p.m. in the Money Matters building on Dallas Parkway in Plano. If you're retired or retiring soon, it's too important to miss. Make your reservation at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net. Ken Moraif was featured in the Wall Street Journal, MarketWatch, CNN Money, Consumer Reports, and Forbes. Clients that followed his advice did not lose money in the crash of 2008. You still have time to attend if you register now at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net or call 800-994-0302.
660 AM, The Answer. Only for Texas. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Guess what? Mark Davis will be on from 5 in the morning until 10 tomorrow morning, and he's got great stuff for you, like this.
Hey, JD, good Thursday night. Big show tomorrow. It's always a big show on Friday, as in 5 hours worth. It's been a week of off and on rain, but the cascade of topics has been constant. And here comes a Friday show to give us a chance to take a pulse of all of it. 5 to 8 a.m., talking with the nation, about the nation, and the world on Morning in America. Then 8 to 10, Texas show. At 8:35, former CIA Deputy Chief Mike Morrell takes us behind the scenes of the CIA in his new book, The Great War of Our Time. So everybody come on in out of the rain and join us for a big Friday show anywhere in there between 5 and 10 a.m. on 660 a.m. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. So there was this wonderful study that said that all you really needed to do to change the minds of Americans regarding gay marriage was to just have somebody talk with someone who was gay about the subject. That was a research project that has now been proven to be fraudulent. Fraudulent. This is not a matter of guesswork. This is not a matter of wishful thinking from a wild-eyed right-wing radio talk show host in Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas. This is the scientific community in a check and balance peer review situation, finding that a study that was, I mean, think about who actually reported all this. Okay. Let's see. It was covered by the New York Times, Vox, the Huffington Post, the Washington Post, the Wall Street Journal, and others when it was released in December. So what's the issue here? Is it gay marriage? No, it's not. You know what the issue is? The issue is this. The American political left is relying on dishonesty time and time again to forward their agenda. Which means they don't have an agenda that's based on truth. They have an agenda that's based on political convenience. People say, well, the Republicans do it too. No, sorry. I have not seen a research project that was proved to be bunk by the very community that provided it yet. I'm not saying it hasn't happened. I'm just saying this fairy tale of gay marriage, et cetera, is based on lies. Obamacare, based on lies. Benghazi defense, based on lies. Lies and lies and lies and lies. Dishonesty. And this, by the way, slops all over Democrats from one end of the country to another. You know, you can tell lies for a while. Excuse me. But after a while, people begin to realize that you're a liar. Is that what the Democrat Party wants to have on its tombstone? They lied until they collapsed and died. They lied until they died. Is that really what they want to be known for? Because they're well on the way of making it happen. They're co-opting the scientific community into these lies, and the scientific community is fighting back. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer.
If you're turning on the AC for the warm days of spring and it's just not working or not cooling the way it should, time to call Walker Air Conditioning. Hey, Mark Davis. My friends at Walker are a family business, but big enough to cover North Texas with reliable, honorable service for your AC units. No commission salesmen showing up. They're technicians sent to fix your problem at an affordable price. Oh, if it's time for a new unit, they've got all the best brands at all the best prices. But let Walker AC see what you need first with techs who know what they're doing from a company you can trust. 52 years in the business, stellar customer reviews, A+ from the Better Business Bureau, specialists in AC and refrigeration for homes and business. Got a wine cellar, a wine fridge? They'll fix yours or install a new one. Walker AC, making sure you are cool and comfortable. Walker Air Conditioning. Website is walkerac.com. That's walkerac.com. Phone number is 972-4-WALKER. 972-4 Walker. WalkerAC.com.
In 2002, a National Sleep Foundation poll found that 63% of women experience symptoms of insomnia at least a few nights per week. In my opinion, a major reason for insomnia is the Blue Card. It's a shopping and loyalty card, and it's free. That's right, free. No charge, nada. Next, you can receive up to 5% cash back on
on purchases. Most cards only offer 2% at most. No wonder girls can't sleep. With the Blue Card, you can also get shopping points that you could use for online purchases. So it's cash back and shopping points. Am I keeping you awake? If you refer the Blue Card to someone, you could even earn money on their purchases. No, I'm serious. It's true. But it gets better. If you share the Blue Card with a merchant, you could earn on the purchases of everyone who uses the Blue Card at their store, too. There's no way you're going to get any sleep until you get your own free Blue Card.
To get your free Blue Card, go to bluecardshopping.com. That's bluecardshopping.com. bluecardshopping.com.
If your credit card debt is out of control, if you're in over your head dealing with monthly payments, there's a powerful secret the credit card companies don't want you to know. If you have more than $5,000 in credit card debt, you have the right to settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. That's bad news for credit card companies, but it's great news for you. We're Debt Relief Advocates, and we're offering you free information on how to virtually eliminate your credit card debt and make your monthly payment affordable. To see how much you could save, call now, 1-800-400-0096. Don't declare bankruptcy. Give us 10 minutes and we could save you thousands. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. Find out how easy it is by calling now. For the secret the credit card companies don't want you to know, call Debt Relief Advocates now and see how much money you could save for free. 1-800-400-0096. That's 1-800-400-0096. 1-800-400-0096.
Are you having trouble figuring out how to invest for retirement with all the recent market volatility, falling oil prices, and turmoil around the world? Hi, I'm Jon-David Wells from the Wells Report for InvestingMakesMeSick.com. Most people think their investment options are only stocks, bonds, mutual funds, or annuities. That's not true. Here's Walt Parker.
If you have an IRA or a 401k from a former employer, you have investment choices that you may not even realize you have. You've worked hard to accumulate your money and deserve to understand what your investments are. InvestingMakesMeSick.com has always offered the We Come to You service. Retirement is right around the corner. Time is money. We want to make sure that you understand your investments and that there's more than just stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and annuities to invest in.
Schedule an appointment. Call 972-463-3833, 972-463-3833, or log on to InvestingMakesMeSick.com. All investments involve risk. Investments may be considered speculative and incur substantial fees and expenses borne by the investor. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Titan Securities. InvestingMakesMeSick.com and Titan Securities are not affiliated.
Flo from Progressive here, making deliveries with Greta, who has her own flower shop. Greta's Great Green Thumb. Yep. Greta is saving a bunch of money on her commercial auto insurance with discounts like Safe Driver, Business Experience, and Paid in Full. Right, Greta?
Righty-o.
Righty-roo.
Correct-amundo.
Yes, sirree.
Wait, who are you calling sir?
What? No one. I thought we were doing a thing. No?
Yeah, no.
Discounts to save your business money. Visit Progressive.com to learn more. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Performance Bicycle, where great rides begin. Wants your great ride to start now. Now through Memorial Day, it's Performance Bicycle's Red Tag Sale. Over 1,000 items on sale store-wide. Red Tag deals on helmets, clothing, parts, accessories, and every bike in the store is on sale. Adult bikes starting at just $199, plus 50 doorbusters at 50% off, but only while supplies last. Don't miss Performance Bicycle's Red Tag Sale. Now through Memorial Day. Go to performancebike.com for location.
If you've got questions, we've got answers. 660 AM. The Answer. You're hearing tomorrow's front page on the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Telephone number 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. I was disappointed to hear that the president of the Boy Scouts of America, former Defense Secretary Robert Gates, made a statement that that makes me sad. The Boy Scouts of America's ban on gay leaders, quote, cannot be sustained, unquote. In his speech, which was posted to the Scouts website today and is available, the former U.S. Defense Secretary and CIA Director says he's not asking for a policy change, not yet anyway, but says, I must speak as plainly and bluntly to you as I spoke to presidents when I was Director of CIA and the Secretary of Defense. We must deal with the world as it is, not as we wish it to be. The Irving-based Boy Scouts lifted its ban on openly gay youth members at its May 2013 meeting at the Gaylord Texan, much to the displeasure and disappointment of then Texas Governor Rick Perry. The Boy Scouts continue to prohibit openly gay adults from serving as volunteers or paid BSA staffers. In his speech, Gates points out that many councils are openly challenging the current policy. Among them, for instance, the Boy Scouts Greater New York Councils, which recently hired an openly gay 18-year-old as a camp counselor. Gates said, expect that trend to continue. While technically we have the authority to revoke their charters, such an action would deny the lifelong benefits of scouting to hundreds of thousands of boys and young men today, and vastly more in the future. I will not take that path. Moreover, dozens of states, from New York to Utah, are passing laws that protect employment rights on the basis of sexual orientation. Thus, between internal challenges and potential legal conflicts, the Boy Scouts of America finds itself in an unsustainable position, a position that makes us vulnerable to the possibility the courts will simply order us at some point to change our membership policy. We must all understand this will probably happen sooner rather than later. I have, from time to time, at difficult moments for the Scouts, tried to help them, tried to give them an opportunity to speak to the people directly, and have been rebuffed at every turn. Rebuffed. I don't know that Secretary Gates will care one way or another about talking to any of us. It's not because he's a bad guy. Robert Gates is an amazing human being. I have spoken to him and just been absolutely amazed at this man who was at one point, I believe, is the president of the University of Texas. He was the chancellor for the University of Texas, or was it A&M? Maybe it was A&M. That's just one of the things on his resume. Defense secretary, CIA director. I mean, goodness gracious. This man is as good as it gets. But I will make this very plain. There is no place for sexuality in the Scouts at all. I don't care whether it's heterosexuality or homosexuality. There is no place for sexuality in the Scouts. Scouting is about learning a constellation of capabilities and abilities that makes a young man self-reliant. All of this is either a distraction or an outright poison that is being inflicted on the Boy Scouts as we speak. The societal experimentation, reformation, whatever you want to call it, does not have a place in the Boy Scouts. It's not about sex of any kind. There is no component of sex that has any place in the Boy Scouts at all. Tens of thousands of kids have left scouting. Tens of thousands more will continue. Trail life, which is an alternative, almost got it right until it became a Christians only club. I'm sorry. That's not scouting either. there are aspects of this that frustrate me. It's not difficult in any way, shape, or form. It's not difficult to figure out that sexuality has nothing to do with scouting. It has nothing to do with the fact that these kids are just just want to have a good time. Okay? And scouting's being used as a way to indoctrinate America's youth in leftist, feel-good stupidity. If you want your kid to be raised up as the Democrat youth, by all means, send them to the Boy Scouts. Did you see what they've been doing? Did you see this? A summer rite of passage in the dog days of summer will not be available to Boy Scouts at their camps or any activities because the group recently announced a ban on the use of water guns for anything other than target practice and a limit on water balloons. Really? Seriously? Yes. Seriously. Water guns and rubber band guns must only be used to shoot at targets, and eye protection must be worn. This is according to page 99 of the brand new 2015 Boy Scout Handbook. The new rule for water balloons dictates their size and origin. No more puffed up balls of latex for traditional water balloon fights. For water balloons, use small, listen to this, biodegradable balloons. Biodegradable balloons? Biodegradable has another name. It's called water soluble. Balloons that are water soluble don't make great water balloons. Jeez. Listen to this. Use small biodegradable balloons and fill them up no larger than a ping pong ball. The news was revealed in a blog post in Scouting Magazine written by Brian Wendell, an Eagle Scout who is a senior editor of Boys Life, Scouting, and Eagles Call magazines. Why the rule, Wendell said? A scouter once told me this explanation I like quite a bit. A scout is kind. What part of pointing a firearm at someone is kind? Well, pointing a firearm is not kind. But a water gun isn't a firearm. And if you don't know the difference between a water gun and a firearm, why are you teaching our kids anything? You know, there was a little kid the other day that got thrown out of school for bringing a bullet to school. He brought a bullet to school. Really? What caliber? Well, I don't know. It was about a half an inch. So a 45. Yeah, probably something like that. Yeah. Was it a semi-jacketed hollow point? Where you can see the lead peeking out from like a copper jacket? No, it was made of foam. What? Yeah, it was a bullet made of foam. There are no bullets made of foam. Well, yes, there are. They fire them out of those guns that shoot these foam bullets. Are you talking about a Nerf gun? And are you talking about one of those little Nerf little arrows that a Nerf gun shoots? Well, yeah, there are guns, there are bullets. Get out. What? Get your stuff. Get out of school. You're done. Get out now. Here's a banker's box. Pack it up. Get out. Why? Because you're a flaming moron. That's why. If you can't tell the difference between a bullet and a hunk of foam, you need to leave. By the way, this ridiculous, stupid position was not received well by commentators on the blog. Quote, what a load of politically correct crap. What's the point of super soakers if you don't shoot them at others to get wet and cool off on a hot day? Unquote. And water balloons no bigger than a ping pong ball? Have you ever been hit by a water balloon that isn't big enough to explode? It hurts more than one that's properly filled. This is such a load of BSA garbage. I like the way I say that word. Garbage. Obviously, past Boy Scouts or pack leaders themselves pointed out on the blog how much fun they had at Boy Scout camps with water balloons and water guns. One of the rules is, one says, the rules show just how far out of touch the National Boy Scouts are. Fully in support of the rules is the Michigan Crosswords Council of Boy Scouts of America, which serves more than 68,000 youth statewide. Our mission is to prepare young people for life, and part of that duty is to ensure that our youth become civically minded adults. Pointing a simulated firearm at another individual is not aligned with our Scout oath or Scout law. It is not a simulated firearm, you ding-dong. Simulated firearms look exactly like firearms. They're the same weight as firearms. They are meant to be used in firearms training. That's what simulated firearms are. I have never seen anything close to a super soaker being used as a firearm. In fact, I haven't seen a whole lot of waterborne fire in my life ever. It's not a firearm. It's not a simulated firearm. Again, if you don't know the difference between a simulated firearm and a super soaker, you have no business teaching our children anything. You are an idiot. This was according to Communications Director Carrie Mitchell. Carrie, if you're listening to this broadcast, you're an oaf. You are an imbecile. Okay? Don't get me wrong. I love you. But if you honestly can't tell the difference between a simulated firearm and a super soaker, you're an imbecile.
We can understand some may feel this ban is extreme, but preparing young people for life starts in a child's most impressionable years. We are committed to our mission here statewide, locally and nationally.
So would you say going someplace and celebrating the greatness of free speech is something that civically minded people would do?
Oh, yes, I believe so.
Yeah. And would you believe that there is any place for violence in such a conclave?
Oh, no, that would be terrible.
Uh-huh. So when somebody travels over 2 states with assault rifles to try to kill everybody in a building filled with people that are afraid to shoot water pistols, let alone a 9mm to defend themselves, would you say that you're setting up the people of the Boy Scouts for anything except a massacre? You flipping idiot! Aside from that, I think you're an incredibly wonderful human being. This is the Wells Report. If you're about to hire somebody out of state to help you with an IRS issue, you're about to make a huge mistake. Stop what you are doing. Hi, I'm Jon-David Wells from the Wells Report. I want to tell you about the good folks at Jim Matthews CPA. Jim Matthews CPA Incorporated is headquartered right here in Dallas. In fact, Jim Matthews is your neighbor. He's local, experienced, results-driven. They know everything there is to know about every IRS tax relief program, every IRS code entry, everything. They know everything there is to know. And all you have to do to get the IRS off your back is contact Jim Matthews CPA right this minute. You could qualify to settle your tax debt for less than what's owed. You can get yourself all taken care of and right with the IRS, get on with your life, and all you have to do is stop being afraid to call Jim Matthews CPA. By the way, you can be afraid to call someone out of state. Don't gamble your IRS case with somebody that doesn't live in your town. Call your neighbor, Jim Matthews CPA Incorporated, right now. 972-613-3034. 972-613-3034. Get your life back. 972-613-3034. Go to your website, jimmatthewscpa.com. jimmatthewscpa.com. Give them a call, 972-613-3034. Tell them you heard about it on the Wells Report.
Hey, Kurt Chase here. I've heard people say that getting married or buying a home are some of the biggest decisions you can make in life. Well, buying a new car is right up there too. After all, the typical driver holds onto their vehicle for an average of 11 years, and you don't want to wind up paying too much for a car. Well, I can help you with that. Listen to my show, the Automotive Edge Radio Show, heard here every Saturday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. Every week, I give tons of insider scoop about how to deal with the best car, best dealership. That's the Automotive Edge Radio Show.
This is an announcement for all people who want to take a risk-free challenge to whiten their teeth in 5 minutes. By calling now, you can whiten your teeth in 5 minutes using clinically proven power swabs. This risk-free challenge is for people whose smile has been yellowed by coffee, tea, red wine, or smoking. The Power Swabs 5-minute challenge is available by responding to this advertisement. If lines are busy, try again. Because the Power Swabs 5-minute challenge is exclusive, it's not available in drugstores. Power Swabs was formulated by Dr. Martin Ginniger and whitens teeth with a patented tooth detergent and whitening agent. It's so effective, we challenge you to try it for 5 minutes to see how white your smile could be. Get it risk-free. Dial 1-800-281-4037. That's 1-800-281-4037. Transform your smile into a wow, you look great smile. Dial 1-800-281-4037. That's 1-800-281-4037.
Hello, this is Bob Guess. Are you tired of low interest rates with the banks? I know I am. How about the deceptive terms and the bogus returns on annuities? Or maybe you're one of those who believe the stock market has actually peaked. Where can you get a decent return on your money without traditional risk? Well, I'm glad you asked. Texas First Financial offers a 9% return backed by hard assets dollar for dollar. $100,000 investment returns you $9,000 in interest. No gimmicks, no smoke and mirrors, just solid returns without stock market risk. Call Texas First Financial. We have an exclusive on this investment, so call us today at 972-570-4444. That's 972-570-4444. You'll be glad you did.
This plan is not insurance and does not meet minimum credible coverage requirements under the Affordable Care Act. This discount card program contains a 30-day cancellation and refund period. The administrator and benefits limited, Dallas, Texas, not available in all states.
I'm a mother. When my kids were growing up, I can't tell you how many times they had a cold, an ear, or sinus infection. I already knew it was the same thing one of the other kids had 3 months before. Could I get a doctor to call me at home? No, I had to take off work, or worse, bundle all the other kids and go to the doctor's office. Well, not anymore. RealMedSavings.com is like a discount club for healthcare. At RealMedSavings.com, you just call the 800 number and a board-certified doctor calls you back in about 15 minutes, talks to you about what it is, and then calls in a prescription if it's needed. You pay nothing for this doctor's call because you're a member of the club. RealMedSavings.com is not insurance, just real savings on everyday medical problems for your whole family. Go to RealMedSavings.com. Save money and time. RealMedSavings.com. It's worth going there.
Our sister station,
94.9 KLTY and Interstate Batteries present Celebrate Freedom 25, Saturday, June 27th at South Fork Ranch. Since this is our 25th anniversary of the largest outdoor Christian concert in America, we're bringing in the artists that you love. Stephen Curtis Chapman, Toby Mac, Third Day, Carrie Job, and many, many more. You've made so many memories over the years at Celebrate Freedom. This year, make some more with us. Sponsored by Cornerstone Staffing, Care Now, North Texas Chevy Dealers, and American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Need more fodder while arguing with your liberal friends? We've got you covered. 660 AM, The Answer. Isn't thinking so much more fun than getting yelled at. The Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Hey, Chuck Grassley's a little annoyed. Oh, wait, I got to talk to Wes. Wes and Burleson, welcome to the Wells Report. Hello.
Pleasure to talk to you, sir.
Hey, man.
My son is going to be 15 next week, and he's a Boy Scout.
Yes, sir.
And once a year, they go on a camp out where they go to the gun range and don't shoot water guns. They shoot actual guns.
Yes.
And they're taught gun safety.
Yep.
Now, if the Boy Scouts are going to outlaw water guns, which they've had water gun fights, they love that.
They're
they have
fun.
a blast.
Yes.
And in fact, one year, and you mentioned Nerf guns, one year they had Nerf gun wars.
They're awesome.
Yeah. And my son has a Nerf gun that's belt fed.
That's great.
It takes 6 D-cell batteries. And,
that's great.
I'm afraid if they're afraid of water pistols or water gun super soakers, they're just whittling everything away.
Yeah, it's just stupid. What they're trying to do is they're trying to merge the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts together in this one gigantic Platonic celibate, crazy nut. I don't know what to tell you, Wes. All I can tell you is that I hope your son is having a good time in the Boy Scouts, because it may not last much longer. You're listening to the Wells Report.
Hey, it's Mark Davis for my friends, the heroes at USMD Prostate Cancer Center. You've heard the term less is more. This can even be true with prostate cancer treatment. Dr. Bevan Thomas at USMD tells us because they're able to diagnose more guys in the early stages of prostate cancer, active surveillance is often a prudent first step, where they say, look, this may or may not be something. Let's just take a look at it. Not everybody gets wheeled immediately to surgery once they get a diagnosis. At USMD, these are the people to call: 1-888-PROSTATE or 888prostate.com. Maybe it's robotic surgery. Maybe it's cryotherapy. Every man is different. Every patient is different, but every outcome they're looking for is the same: to get prostate cancer put behind you in the rearview mirror. I love hearing from guys who say, Mark, I heard the message about USMD. I called 1-888-PROSTATE or went to 888prostate.com, and it saved my life. I love those stories. Let's see what we can do. Let's save guys' lives one patient at a time. USMD Prostate Cancer Center, 1-888-PROSTATE or 888prostate.com.
Another hot Texas summer is upon us, and Mathis Air and Heat has a great offer for you right off the bat. With the American Standard All-Star Sales Event, Mathis Air is offering 100% financing and 0% interest for up to 60 months. That's 60 months on complete qualifying American Standard systems with approved credit or cash rebates. Mathis Air knows that's a home run, and with free estimates on equipment replacements, that's a grand slam. When it comes to service, call 972-279-4COOL for a $39 service call. Don't get thrown a curveball. Go with the company you can trust. As a certified customer care dealer, Mathis Air is about quality, honesty, and a great installation, because that's what matters most. Special financing or rebates available on qualifying products. See Mathis Air and Heat, your independent American Standard dealer, for details. Or call 888-840-8084 for financing program details about credit costs. Offer expires June 30th, 2015. Make sure you're working with the best. Mathis Air and Heat. Call now, 972-279-4COOL. That's 972-279-4266. Warning: whether you're retired or soon to be retired, listen up. Do not be caught in one or more of the 11 mistakes retirees make that could cost you all of your money. It doesn't matter how well off you are financially, you could make the easy mistake that washes away all of your financial security. Call Optimum Retirement Planning today at 866-882-5447 to make sure that you are not wasting your money. Call now and receive your free copy of the 11 biggest mistakes retirees make and how to avoid them. 866-882-5447.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group. On the NASDAQ as SALM, KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio. I'm Steve Rappaport. One step closer to a fast-track trade bill.
The Senate voted 62-38 on a trade package President Obama wants approved. Final passage should happen by Friday night. Yet the most vocal critics of the president's trade measure are his fellow Democrats.
Fox's Mike Emanuel. The legislation allows Congress to approve or reject, but not amend any trade deals proposed by the president. California authorities closing off a 160-square-mile area to fishing after an oil pipeline burst Tuesday. Thousands of gallons spewed into the Pacific.
We know the community is concerned. We know there are those who are even angered over this incident. And we do truly regret, and we are committed to cleaning up this incident as quickly as possible and mitigate any further impact to the environment.
Plains All American Pipeline spokesman Pat Hodgins. Fox News. We report, you decide.
660 AM. The Answer.
This is Hugh Hewitt for townhall.com. The growing likelihood of President Obama signing a deal with Iran that provides the mullahs with a pathway to nuclearization makes this the single most pressing issue of the day. A nuclear Iran will spawn a new sort of nuclear arms race, one that makes the Cold War look like a simple game of Pong by comparison. All this was summed up brilliantly by Charles Krauthammer when he joined my program last week.
I think we are assured of a truly catastrophic arms race in the Middle East, where the Saudis are going to go nuclear, the UAE, probably Egypt, probably Turkey. And if we thought that two-sided deterrence was difficult, risky, and we came within an inch of nuclear war in the Cuban Missile Crisis, imagine what five-sided deterrence is like in a region that's the most unstable in the world. That's what Obama has bequeathed us.
That will be the Obama legacy. I'm Hugh Hewitt.
Hey, everybody, Mark Davis. My friends at Climate Evangelista Eye Center wanted me to share something with you about DLS, dysfunctional lens syndrome. What is that? Well, let me ask you, are you over 40? Do you experience minor glare in your vision that you didn't used to have? Or maybe poor near vision without your reading glasses, particularly in low light conditions? If so, you may be experiencing dysfunctional lens syndrome, DLS. The team at Climate Evangelista has a range of procedures designed to help you overcome DLS and enjoy an active lifestyle. So give them a call, 1-800-714-2020, 1-800-714-2020. Climate Evangelista has a dysfunctional lens syndrome screening. Following treatment for DLS, a lot of patients have reported a range of benefits: reduced dependency on readers or bifocals, improved night vision. It's a great deal, so call them 1-800-714-2020 or learn more about DLS by visiting dlsyndrome.com. That's the letter D, letter L, syndrome.com. And Climate Evangelist is always there for you at 1-800-714-2020.
According to Forbes magazine, Saudi Arabia's Prince Al-Walid, with over $21 billion, is the 35th richest person in the world. Being a Saudi prince, you just naturally assume he inherited his money, which I'm sure is partly true. However, he made a lot of his money by investing in banking and financial services, hotels and hotel management companies, mass media, entertainment, retail, agriculture, petrochemicals, aviation technology, and real estate all over the world. He's making money off about anything people buy anywhere. You may not be a Saudi prince, but you can make money on about anything people buy almost anywhere by getting your free blue card. The Blue Card is a loyalty rewards card that not only gets you discounts on purchases, but up to 5% cash back on what you buy. If you refer someone to the Blue Card, you could earn money on what they buy. And if you refer the Blue Card to a business, you could earn on the purchases of anyone who uses the Blue Card in their store or almost anywhere.
To get your free Blue Card, go to bluecardshopping.com. That's bluecardshopping.com. bluecardshopping.com.
This is Dan Tullis, and I just called Joel Clark, one of Select Quote Insurance Services' term life agents.
Hi, Mr. Tullis.
Joel, how does Select Quote save you money on term life insurance?
Well, buying term life insurance is all about choosing the right company. Let's say you take antidepressants or you smoke. All insurance companies are going to price that differently. We'll impartially shop all the companies we represent to find you the best price.
Can you give me an example?
Sure. I just got a man, 40.
Everyone knows that voting is a civic duty. So the next time you vote for a Supreme Court justice, here's what I want you to... Oh, wait. You don't vote for Supreme Court justices, do you? On the next edition of the Wells Report, we're going to talk a little bit about how policy change by lawsuit and the appellate court system has become the way to enact new law in the United States. Is that in the Constitution? It's not. It's destructive, and it could destroy the Republic. We'll tell you how and what we need to do about it next time on the Wells Report.
That's quite sensational.
I thought so.
I didn't mean it in a good way.
I meant it in a good way. Mark Davis, thanks very much for letting me have a small moment of this gigantic and wonderful broadcast to tell people what's coming up on the Wells Report a little bit later on tonight. Policy change by lawsuit. Yeah, if you can't get a law passed in the legislature, there's a way you can sue your way to your agenda. Is that what our founding fathers had in mind for the judicial branch of government? No. It is a sense, and more importantly, and quite simply, it is a threat to the future of this republic. What do we do about it? We'll talk about it next time on the Wells Report.
Dallas Parkway in Plano. If you're retired or retiring soon, it's too important to miss. Make your reservation at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net. Ken Murray was featured in the Wall Street Journal, MarketWatch, CNN Money, Consumer Reports, and Forbes. Clients that followed his advice did not lose money in the crash of 2008. You still have time to attend if you register now at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net or call 800-994-0302.
You can listen on the go. Find us on iHeartRadio, 660 AM. The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. The Atlantic Monthly is it's a very good magazine. It is perhaps one of the greatest magazines to ever publish. And Jeffrey Goldberg has interviewed the President of the United States in this issue, this upcoming issue of The Atlantic. In the interview, President Obama ties his legacy to a pact with Tehran, argues that ISIS is not winning, warns Saudi Arabia not to pursue nuclear weapons, and anguishes about Israel. This is a very comprehensive, long interview. Can't really say, I can't bring you all of it. But you can read along with me if you go onto the blog, because Vicky Stifer is putting it there right this minute. You'll have to go in a ways where it says the Middle Eastern interview. I think this is the most illuminating part of the interview that I've seen so far. Jeffrey Goldberg asks, you've argued that ISIS has been on the defensive, but Ramadi just fell. Are we actually losing this war, or would you not go that far? President Obama says, no, I don't think we're losing, and I just talked to our CENTCOM commanders and the folks on the ground. There's no doubt there was a tactical setback, although Ramadi had been vulnerable for a very long time, primarily because these are not Iraqi security forces that we have trained or reinforced. You've seen actually significant progress in the north, and those areas are where the Peshmerga, Kurdish forces, are participating. Baghdad is consolidated. Those predominantly Shia areas, you're not seeing any forward momentum by ISIL, and ISIL has been significantly degraded across the country. I don't know what this president is talking about. And sadly, I don't think he does either. By the way, there is no recording of this. This is a transcript of a spoken word interview. You're not seeing any forward momentum by ISIL, and ISIL has been significantly degraded across the country, but you've got to worry about Iraqi forces. And then President Obama says, I'm getting to that, Jeff. You asked me a question. There's no doubt that in Sunni areas, we're going to have to ramp up not just training, but also commitment. And we better get Sunni tribes more activated than they currently have been. So this is a source of concern. We're 8 months into what we've anticipated to be a multi-year campaign. And I think Iraqi Prime Minister Abadi recognizes many of these problems, but they're going to have to be addressed. Wow. Goldberg, stay on Iraq. There's an interesting conversation going on in Republican circles right now, debating a question that you have answered for yourself 13 years ago about whether it was right or wrong to go into Iraq. What is this conversation actually about? I'm also wondering if you think it's the wrong conversation to have in the following sense. You're under virtually no pressure. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you're under virtually no pressure domestically to get more deeply involved in the Middle East. That seems to be one of the downstream consequences of the Iraq invasion 12 years ago. President Obama. As you said, I'm very clear on the lessons of Iraq. I think it was a mistake for us to go in the first place, despite the incredible efforts that were made by our men and women in uniform. Despite that error, those sacrifices allowed Iraq to take back their country. That opportunity was squandered by Prime Minister Maliki and the unwillingness to reach out effectively to Sunni and Kurdish populations. Maliki? Prime Minister Maliki certainly did make a huge mistake, not the least of which was giving President Obama an opportunity to get the American forces out of his country before he was ready to do anything with them. It was just unbelievable that this Shia bigot, Prime Minister Maliki, would get rid of the Kurds and get rid of the Sunnis just in time for an attack by an army he could not defend. The president continued, today the question is not whether we're sending in contingents of U.S. ground troops. Today the question is, how do we find effective partners to govern in those parts of Iraq right now that are ungovernable and effectively defeat ISIL, not just in Iraq, but in Syria? It's important to have a clear idea of the past because we don't want to repeat mistakes. I know there are some in Republican quarters who have suggested that I've overlearned the mistake of Iraq, and that, in fact, just because the 2003 invasion did not go well doesn't argue we shouldn't go back in. And one lesson I think it's important to draw from what happened is that if Iraqis themselves are not willing or capable to arrive at the political accommodation necessary to govern, if they are not willing to fight for the security of their country, we cannot do that for them. Mr. President, this is intellectual laziness, or just plain intellectual disinformation. The United States of America went into Iraq and killed everybody that could defend the country. Those that remained, that managed to survive, that could defend the country, were run out of the military by Prime Minister Maliki. There is no one left to defend what's left of Iraq. We did this. We went to Iraq and got rid of Saddam Hussein. We should have made Iraq the 51st state of the Union. We should have a huge American presence there. And it's going to have to be there for at least 40 years, 2 generations, because that's how long it takes for people to figure out how to live in a democratic republic or a parliamentary system. That's how long it takes. Even your vice president knew that when they started talking about going into Iraq in the first place, when everybody agreed. Remember? You break it, you buy it. Mr. President, we've broken Iraq. Now we need to go clean up the mess we created and do it in very serious style. You need to go in there and lay waste to ISIL. You need to lay waste to it. And then what you need to do is you need to set up Iraq as a vibrant, thriving country. You know, what George W. Bush did before he left office. He left a democracy in place. They had elections. ISIL was nowhere to be seen. Al-Qaeda in Iraq was on the ropes, if existent at all. But you showed up and blew everything right out of the water. Now, believe me, hey, I listen to you say, you know, we've got to get to Afghanistan to find Osama bin Laden. And I actually agreed. Right up until you screwed up the status of force agreement in Iraq. When you did that, you sealed the fate, or at least the present fate, of Iraq. You handed that entire country over to ISIL. It's unbelievable how stupid and how basic that mistake was, sir. And so Iran is on its way to a nuclear weapon. The President of the United States has made it possible for them to continue their work with an agreement that he says has his name on it. Mr. President, it's not about you. It has nothing to do with you. And by the way, your legacy so far is in such tatters. I don't believe that even a Nobel Peace Prize that you actually earned this time would save you from the mess that you're going to leave behind. Your legacy is in tatters, sir. To worry about it now is laughable. So as Iran pursues a nuclear weapon, what does Saudi Arabia do? What do the United Arab Emirates do? What do they do? Goldberg, in 2012, you told me when we were talking about Iran, it's almost certain that other players in the region would feel it necessary to get their own nuclear weapons if Iran got them. Now we're in that kind of weird situation in which there's talk that Saudi Arabia, maybe Turkey, maybe Egypt, would go build nuclear infrastructure and finalize the deal to match the infrastructure that your deal is going to leave in place in Iran. So my question to you is this. Have you asked the Saudis not to go down any nuclear path? What have they told you about this? And what are the consequences if other countries in the region say, well, you know, they have 5,000 centrifuges? We're going to have 5,000 centrifuges. There's been talk in the media, unsourced well, says Goldberg. Prince Turki said it publicly. President Obama, well, he's not in the government. There's been no indication from the Saudis or any other Gulf Cooperation Council countries that they have an intention to pursue their own nuclear program. This guy's blindfolded. He does not see this amazing threat, or at least he won't admit that he sees this amazing threat right in front of his face. Does he not know what he's seeing? Is he delusional? What is going on? If Iran gets a nuclear weapon, Saudi Arabia is going to have a nuclear weapon. All they have to do is call the guys in Pakistan and say, send me a couple, would you? They don't have to do anything. All they have to do is pay money that they have in bushel baskets full. Same thing with the United Arab Emirates, not mentioned in this article. The best part, here's the best part. You ready? The best part? Egypt will use the money we sent them to get nuclear weapons with. Which is okay. I mean, we like Egypt. Egypt has actually done well in the Middle East. Egypt, Jordan, Israel. But now the entire Middle East is going nuclear, and you know who we can congratulate for it? You want to talk about your legacy, Mr. President? Here, let's talk about your legacy in the Middle East. You ready? Boom! You're listening to the Wells Report. Don't hire someone out of state to help you do something that you can take care of right here in Texas, especially when it comes to the IRS. Hi, I'm Jon-David Wells from the Wells Report. Stop what you're doing. Put down the phone. Don't call an out-of-state anything to help you with the IRS problem that you have in Texas. Call Jim Matthews CPA, headquartered right here in Dallas, Texas. They're local, experienced, results-driven. They know everything they need to know. They've got an A+ rating but with the Better Business Bureau. The IRS knows that they know. everything they need to know to be able to get you out of trouble with them. And you know what? When they see Jim Matthews coming, they say, oh, okay, well, then we'll be able to get to the bottom of this and get this taken care of so you can get on with your life. Yeah, the IRS knows about Jim Matthews CPA Incorporated, and you should too. Here's how we can do this. Let me introduce you to the telephone number so that you can introduce yourself to Jim Matthews CPA Incorporated right now. 972-613-3034. 972-613-3034. 972-613-3034. Go to the websites, JimMatthewsCPA.com, JimMatthewsCPA.com. Call them right this minute. Tell them you heard about it on the Wells Report.
Hi, this is Andy Tuttle, host of Tuttle Talk every Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer. We're in a real estate market where there's a lot of difficulty, but in difficulty, there's a lot of opportunity as well. Buying, selling, avoiding foreclosure, modifying your credit, all these things are so important to your livelihood. This show is dedicated to cutting through some of the big headlines that you see out there and teaching you how to win in any marketplace. Thank you for tuning in to Tuttle Talk every Sunday, 4 p.m. on 660 AM The Answer. I look forward to speaking with you.
What's the scariest thing about going to the dentist? Opening your mouth or opening your wallet? Because just a simple cleaning can cost $100, and things like root canals can cost you hundreds more. If you don't have dental insurance to help, you should give Physicians Mutual Insurance Company a call. 1-800-200-9887. This isn't a discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance that helps pay for checkups right away. So you can call today and get your teeth cleaned tomorrow. Plus, it helps cover the more expensive procedures you might need down the road. Fillings, crowns, bridges, even costly dentures. There's no deductible and no annual maximum. Your acceptance is guaranteed for one of these insurance policies, even if you're retired or on Medicare. There are no networks, so you can choose any dentist you'd like. That's right, any dentist you want. Call in the next 10 minutes and we'll rush you a free information kit with all the details. 1-800-200-9887. That's 1-800-200-9887. 1-800-200-9887.
When you pay your mobile phone bill, are you making a political statement? Probably so. You don't even know that it's politics you might not agree with. Hey, it's Mark Davis. Major mobile companies have given more than $50 million to liberal candidates and causes. Now there's a cellular company that gives 5% to conservative causes while still saving you money. Welcome to EOS Mobile. The same service, the same quality, a better price, and a better cause. Go to EOScell.com, EOSCELL.com. Meet a company that'll save you 10 to 15% on the same phone, data, and text plans. And their corporate contributions go to organizations and candidates for smaller government, a stronger America, and following the Constitution. Imagine that. And text and talk plans start at $9.99 with a free phone. Do you want part of your mobile phone bill to help Obama, Hillary, and that side of American politics? Great service, great prices, and support for conservative causes with EOS Mobile. Go to EOScell.com. That's EOSCELL.com, EOScell.com.
Hello, this is Bob Guess. For more than 35 years, I've made it my life's work to help people like you maximize your earnings and safety as you approach retirement. Earning a 9% return backed by hard assets, dollar for dollar, allows you, the investor, to have predictability on your return, which can help offset low returns with CDs, annuities, and the ups and downs of the stock market. One thing our fathers taught us after going through the Depression was that you don't want to be old and broke. When you work hard for your money, you expect your money to work hard for you. So call us today to get a stable, predictable return on your money. Get a 9% return backed by hard assets, dollar for dollar. It's the best way to fight inflation and make sure that you won't be old and broke. Call us today at 972-570-4444. That's 972-570-4444 and get predictable returns and peace of mind. That's 972-570-4444.
Our sister station,
94.9 KLTY and Interstate Batteries present Celebrate Freedom 25. Nothing brings home the memories like the official Celebrate Freedom 25 t-shirt. Just go to CelebrateFreedom.com and find the perfect package for your family. Get the sticker, the VIP seating pass, the poster, and more. Get as little or as much as you want. It's your day. It's your fun. It's your Celebrate Freedom 25. CelebrateFreedom.com.
Dallas, Fort Worth's home for stimulating talk. 660 AM, The Answer. The Wells Report, must-hear radio on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. So the President of the United States doesn't get it. I mean, the President knows that Israel has a nuclear weapons program. Not just nuclear weapons, thermonuclear weapons, H-bombs. It is a convenient fiction that nobody actually pins officially. Nobody pins nuclear weapons on Israel. It's a convenient fiction. And you really don't have to worry about Israelis bombing anybody that doesn't really deserve it. But make no mistake, those people are not going to suffer another Holocaust. They're not. And they're not going to tolerate anybody that could bring a Holocaust to their country at all. They will attack first. And they should. And that I know this and the president doesn't. Or that I know this and the president refuses to face the fact. I mean, I can say this. He can't say it. But he can know it and he can act on it. And he doesn't. He's throwing gasoline on a forest fire. And he needs to stop. Goldberg. Stay with Iran for one more moment. I want to ask you, I just want you to help me square something. So you've argued quite eloquently, in fact, that the Iranian regime has its highest levels, has been infected by a kind of anti-Semitic worldview. You think? You talked about that with Tom Friedman. Venomous anti-Semitism is the term you used. You've argued, not that it needs arguing, but you've argued that people who subscribe to anti-Semitic worldview, who believe the world, who explain the world through the prism of anti-Semitic ideology are not rational, not built for success, not grounded in a reality you and I might understand. And yet, you've also argued the regime in Tehran, a regime you've described as anti-Semitic, among other problems that they have, is practical, responsive to incentive, and shows sign of rationality. So I don't understand how these things fit together in your mind. President Obama, well, the fact that you are anti-Semitic or racist doesn't preclude you from being interested in survival. It doesn't preclude you from being rational about the need to keep your economy afloat. It doesn't preclude you from making strategic decisions about how you stay in power. And so the fact that the supreme leader is anti-Semitic doesn't mean that this country overrides all of its other considerations. You know, if you look at the history of anti-Semitism, Jeff, there were a whole lot of European leaders There were a whole lot of European leaders, and some were, and there were deep strains of anti-Semitism in this country. You know, like in the Oval Office whenever I'm in there. Okay, I added that part. He didn't say that. He didn't have to. The Atlantic Monthly magazine has this amazing interview in it with the President of the United States. Yesterday, I told you to go to Osama bin Laden's bookshelf and read every possible document you can find there. I told you to do that so you could know your enemy. I'm telling you to read this interview so you have a better handle on your president. This is the Wells Report.
This week on House Talk Today, it's Memorial Day weekend, and that means we're going to ask you for some of your favorite barbecue recipes for some great prizes. The latest updates on home improvement. The garden segment features Rebecca Miller this week, and of course, your phone calls. So enjoy the holiday weekend and tune in this Saturday afternoon for a little House Talk Today.
Tune in to House Talk Today, Saturday afternoons from 1 to 3 on 660 AM. The Answer.
Another hot Texas summer is upon us, and Mathis Air and Heat has a great offer for you right off the bat. With the American Standard All-Star Sales Event, Mathis Air is offering 100% financing and 0% interest for up to 60 months. That's 60 months on complete qualifying American Standard systems with approved credit or cash rebates. Mathis Air knows that's a home run, and with free estimates on equipment replacements, that's a grand slam. When it comes to service, call 972-279-4COOL for a $39 service call. Don't get thrown a curveball. Go with the company you can trust. As a certified customer care dealer, Mathis Air is about quality, honesty, and a great installation because that's what matters most. Special financing or rebates available on qualifying products. See Mathis Air and Heat, your independent American Standard dealer, for details. Or call 888-840-8084 for financing program details about credit costs. Offer expires June 30th, 2015. Make sure you're working with the best. Mathis Air and Heat. Call now, 972-279-4COOL. That's 972-279-4266.
People who can afford a LASIK procedure sure are lucky. Imagine being able to throw away your contacts and glasses. Imagine waking up tomorrow with 20/20 vision. Too bad everyone can't afford LASIK. Well, guess what? There's a company that agrees with you. The LASIK Vision Institute is now offering dramatically low prices on high-quality LASIK to make it affordable for everyone. That means you get the latest FDA-approved LASIK technology for a fraction of what others charge. And if you call right now, we'll schedule a free appointment so you can discover if LASIK is right for you. Results may vary. Call 1-800-700-1851. Even better, if you're one of the first 100 callers, ask about an extra 20% discount off our already low-cost services. We've already performed over 1 million procedures. Let us help you. Discover how you can get the quality LASIK experience you deserve at a fraction of what others charge. For your free appointment, call 1-800-700-1851. 1-800-700-1851.
Business owners, listen up. Give me an I.
Give me an M.
Give me a Z. What's that spell? Incorporation, protection, success. Incorporate your business.
INC. If you're about to start a business, these 3 little letters can make the difference between making a fortune and losing everything. Because if you're not incorporated and someone sues your business, you can lose it all. Your home, your car, even your life savings. That's why Incorporate.com is now giving away a free incorporation guide to all business owners. So you can incorporate or form an LLC in just 10 minutes. Protect your home, protect your car, protect your life savings. Call 1-800-500-9483 for your free 10-minute incorporation guide from Incorporate.com. They don't provide legal or financial advice. They just make incorporating quick and easy.
Incorporation, protection, success. Incorporate your business.
Call now for your free guide. 1-800-500-9483. That's 1-800-500-9483.
Hey everybody, Mark Davis from my friends at Good Feet. I've been proud for years to send you to the Good Feet locations in Plano and in Fort Worth. And now I'm really glad to tell you about the 3rd Good Feet location, South Lake, Texas, right there at 2615 East South Lake Boulevard, a couple of blocks east of Town Square on South Lake Boulevard between Kimball and Nolan. Know what happens in there? The same great results you've always gotten in Plano and in Fort Worth. Real people taking care of real foot problems. Foot pain can spread. It can become leg pain, hip pain, back pain. Let's get you out of pain. At goodfeetdfw.com, learn about all the locations, brand new in South Lake. Plano, still on the corner of Coit and the Bush Turnpike in front of Central Market. Fort Worth, 1 block south of I-20 on Bryant Irvin. And brand new Good Feet in South Lake, 2615 East South Lake Boulevard, 2 blocks east of Town Square. It's Good Feet, getting people out of pain today. America's #1 arch support. Check them out at goodfeetdfw.com. That's goodfeetdfw.com, Plano, Fort Worth, and South Lake.
In these uncertain times, you can't afford to take chances. So come on out to the Tier 1 Gun Show this weekend, May 23rd and 24th at the Mesquite Rodeo Convention Center. You'll find everything you need to protect yourself and your family. Guns, knives, ammo, accessories, survival supplies, and much, much more, all in a safe, fun, and family-friendly environment. Parking is free, so be sure to come on out and buy, sell, or trade at the Tier 1 Gun Show this weekend at the Mesquite Rodeo Convention Center. Saturday 9 to 5, Sunday 10 to 4. Visit Tier1Gunshows.com. Tier1Gunshows.com. Be there.
Learn a little something at the start of your day. The Mark Davis Show. Mornings 7 to 10 on 660 AM. The Answer. The Wells Report is on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Do you know what causes allergies? Asthma, flash flooding, poverty, terrorism. Do you know what causes all those things?
Global warming?
You're a smart guy. Magic goes, oh yeah, that's global warming. Yeah. President Obama has issued a new warning that climate change, global warming, can cause allergies, asthma, and foster terrorism. The report lists 34 effects of climate change, a doomsday scenario of health, security, economic, and political issues. Climate change is contributing to extreme weather, wildfires, and drought, and that rising temperatures can lead to more smog and more allergens in the air we breathe, meaning more kids are exposed to the triggers that can cause asthma attacks. The report was issued in advance of the president's trip to New London, Connecticut to deliver the commencement address at the United States Coast Guard Academy. It stresses the need to reduce global warming to help reduce national security risks. Yeah, I said it. Actually, the president said it. I just repeated it. We need to reduce global warming to help reduce national security risks. At the aforementioned commencement for the Coast Guard Academy, the president said this: "This is not just a problem for countries on the coast or certain regions of the world. Climate change will impact every country on the planet. No nation is immune. So I'm here to say that climate change constitutes a serious threat to global security, an immediate risk to our national security, and make no mistake, it will impact how our military defends our country. And so we need to act, and we need to act right now." Which is why we're playing this song. Doing our part to cool off the globe. That's right. If the president can heat up the globe by speaking, we can cool it off by singing. That's what we can do every single time. So whenever you're feeling hot, just play this very craftily produced song. See that? A polar bear just found a cake of ice. Allergies are going down as Foreigner sings. Hear that? That's a child not having an asthma attack. You're laughing, but you know this is just as effective as everything the president has in mind. And I hit the post again. Yes, we need to act. We need to act right now. We need to do whatever it is that will cool off the planet. Here, give me money. That's right. If you can't afford firewood, there won't be any global heating. It got really bad. This was just, it was stupidity on top of hyperbole. I'm trying to find the money shot on this. I found it earlier today. Okay, let's see. Obama said the cadets would be the first part of the first generation of officers to begin their service in a world where it is increasingly clear that climate change will shape how every one of our services plan, operate, train, equip, and protect the infrastructure. You know why? Because what's going to happen is that this stupid political idiocy is going to suck up every bit of money from every military budget everywhere in the United States, and these guys are going to have to figure out how to defend this nation with an electric fan powered by a solar cell. Let me tell you something. President Obama said that there was impact right here in the United States. He pointed to streets in Miami and Charleston that flood at high tide, and to military bases around the country already feeling negative effects. Around Norfolk, high tides and storms increasingly flood parts of our Navy base and an air base. In Alaska, thawing permafrost is damaging military facilities. Out west, deeper droughts and longer wildfires could threaten training areas our troops depend on. Yeah. You know, if this climate change stuff doesn't change, the desert won't have enough water to remain a desert. Desert. Mr. President, I used to live next to the National Training Center. It's a desert. It's been dealing with a drought for centuries. Okay? Just saying. Got him, Matty. Got him, Matty. Yeah. President Obama's Coast Guard Academy address was his second and last commencement address of the season after speaking earlier this month at a community college in South Dakota. I think that's a first. A president of the United States speaking at a community college in South Dakota. Sounds like a joke. I know there's nothing wrong with going to a community college in South Dakota. Unless you're the president of the United States. What the hell? The president of the United States will give the commencement address at the University of Chicago. No. Yale, no. Cambridge, no. Columbia, no. Rutgers, no. No. We're going to go to South Dakota. We're going to Deadwood Community College for the president to issue the commencement address. Of course, that's a good thing. All of us should support the president to do it because there were only 5 people in the graduating class. Yeah. They all got an associate's degree in Cal. The president. Yeah. I got my associate's degree in Cal. Yeah, boy. I'm telling you. Now I'm ready to go. That's right. That's right. Moo. The president of the United States has turned himself into Chicken Little. Chicken Little. Chicken Little. The sky is falling. You know, the thing about this is that when they're talking about the drought out west, the drought has always been out there out west. That's why we built the Hoover Dam. The political junketry that has created the water to be squandered, water that was once diverted to California to keep it fertile, has been stopped by political action, not because of no rain. The liberal nincompoopage in California don't build desalination plants where they can use the water from the Pacific flippin' Ocean. They don't do that. All of these things are self-inflicted wounds by a guy who says now the only thing we can do to save ourselves is to pay a worthless government even more money. The president in his Coast Guard speech also discussed that not pursuing a rational agenda of government trying to cool off the planet. Okay? You know, when you start thinking about the fact that we had to change the way we use the coolant that we use in our air conditioners, the president of the United States has a hard time cooling off the White House. How is he going to flip and do anything about cooling off the planet? There isn't enough money in the world, Mr. President, to be able to cool off the planet. There isn't. We do not have the industry necessary to cool the planet on a planetary scale. And to say otherwise is insanity. Insanity. It's just stupid. It's just stupid. And the president knows it. And it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. We have to reduce global warming to help reduce national security risks. To not take action amounts to dereliction of duty. You know what I hope? I hope that none of those brand new Coast Guard officers believed a single thing that they said. I hope that when the President of the United States referred to not pursuing some kind of overly stupid, incredibly expensive agenda to try to cool off the planet, I hope that those officers only heard this. I sincerely hope that's all they heard. You know, seriously. I mean, what are these people going to do? That's their commander-in-chief. The good news about all of this is that since they are the Coast Guard and since water levels are rising, they'll soon have a lot more water to patrol. Of course, they'll have to worry about colliding with dead polar bears. Okay. Well, it gives me no pleasure to speak this way of this president. Gives me absolutely no pleasure whatsoever, but I'm stuck. Because if I tell you the truth, the president looks stupid. Whose fault is that? Is it the president's for saying all these ridiculous things? Or is it my fault for telling you that they're ridiculous things? You're listening to the Wells Report.
Dennis Prager tries to explain the constantly shifting position on the left.
So now they say it's not white-black racism, it's blue-black racism. So it's really police become racist somehow when they don the uniform of the police. Or perhaps racists enter the police force in greater numbers than they enter other professions.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at noon, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on 660 AM. The Answer.
If your credit card debt is out of control, if you're in over your head dealing with monthly payments, there's a powerful secret the credit card companies don't want you to know. If you have more than $5,000 in credit card debt, you have the right to settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. That's bad news for credit card companies, but it's great news for you. We're debt relief advocates, and we're offering you free information on how to virtually eliminate your credit card debt and make your monthly payment affordable. To see how much you could save, call now, 1-800-400-0096. Don't declare bankruptcy. Give us 10 minutes and we could save you thousands. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. Find out how easy it is by calling now. For the secret the credit card companies don't want you to know, call Debt Relief Advocates now and see how much money you could save for free. 1-800-400-0096. That's 1-800-400-0096. 1-800-400-0096.
This is an announcement for all people who want to take a risk-free challenge to whiten their teeth in 5 minutes. By calling now, you can whiten your teeth in 5 minutes using clinically proven power swabs. This risk-free challenge is for people whose smile has been yellowed by coffee, tea, red wine, or smoking. The Power Swabs 5-minute challenge is available by responding to this advertisement. If lines are busy, try again. Because the Power Swabs 5-minute challenge is exclusive, it's not available in drugstores. Power Swabs was formulated by Dr. Martin Ginniger and whitens teeth with a patented tooth detergent and whitening agent. It's so effective, we challenge you to try it for 5 minutes to see how white your smile could be. Get it risk-free. Dial 1-800-281-4037. That's 1-800-281-4037. Transform your smile into a wow, you look great smile. Dial 1-800-281-4037. That's 1-800-281-4037.
This is Dan Tullis, and I just called Joel Clark, one of Select Quote Insurance Services' term life agents.
Hi, Mr. Tullis.
Joel, how does Select Quote save you money on term life insurance?
Well, buying term life insurance is all about choosing the right company. Let's say you take antidepressants or you smoke. All insurance companies are going to price that differently. We'll impartially shop all the companies we represent to find you the best.
Can you give me an example?
Sure. I just got a man, 40 years old, on cholesterol medication, a $500,000 policy with a highly rated insurance company. His price, $22 a month.
Call 1-800-979-3269 and see how affordable term life insurance can be. That's 1-800-979-3269. 1-800-979-3269. Or go to selectquote.com. We shop, you save. Get full details on the example policy at selectquote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
A Silicon Valley CEO is fired for opposing same-sex marriage. A teenage girl is attacked on campus for protesting abortion. And a college club loses formal recognition for being Christian. This is the country we live in today, in America, where people are punished for expressing themselves and then bullied into silence. If you don't agree with a certain liberal agenda, you're targeted for silencing. This is Eric Metaxas, and my good friend Kirsten Powers chronicles this frightening new trend in her brand new book titled The Silencing: How the Left is Killing Free Speech. With fearless candor, Kirsten gives us example after example of men and women who've been punished for expressing opinions that have been suddenly deemed unacceptable. The Silencing is a much-needed wake-up call for everyone who cherishes liberty. Who will be the next victim of the silencing?
Kirsten Powers' book, The Silencing: How the Left is Killing Free Speech, from Regnery Publishing, is now available at Amazon.com, Costco, and bookstores everywhere.
We have an extra special free Money Matters Retirement Seminar Saturday at 1 p.m. in the Money Matters building on Dallas Parkway in Plano. If you're retired or retiring soon, it's too important to miss. Make your reservation at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net. Ken Murray was featured in the Wall Street Journal, MarketWatch, CNN Money, Consumer Reports, and Forbes. Clients that followed his advice did not lose money in the crash of 2008. You still have time to attend if you register now at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net, or call 800-994-0302.
Listen to us live on iHeartRadio, 660 AM. The Answer. If it's important to you, we're talking about it right now on the Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer.
It's called hippie nostalgia syndrome. HNS. There are a lot of people that want to make us feel ashamed for going into Iraq when we went into Afghanistan, the Iraq and Afghanistan war. They're trying to say that we should have left Saddam Hussein in power. This ridiculous, foolish sophistry means that the people who are saying it can't read a map. And I've said this many times on this radio broadcast, the number one protagonist of terror in the world is Iran. And when we were fighting in Iraq and we were fighting in Afghanistan, we had Iran surrounded. And we threw that away because President Obama can't read a map. He simply can't. The nuance was lost on him. Tom Cotton is an Iraq War veteran from Arkansas. He is now the junior senator from that state. He has a message to his fellow soldiers. We should not be ashamed of the war we conducted in Iraq. There are lessons to be learned from the conflict. It might have been handled differently in retrospect, but knowing what we know now, I would have absolutely sent the Pacific Fleet out of Pearl Harbor to intercept the Japanese fleet. I can say that to highlight how foolish the question is. You don't get to live life in reverse. We fought in Iraq. We won. Be proud. The executive producer of the Wells Report is Vicki Stifer. Technical director, conductor of the Wells Report Orchestra is Magic Matt Swinney. My name is Jon-David Wells. Thanks for listening to this edition of the Wells Report.
Hi, this is Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor. I'd like for you to join me on my talk show this weekend. What I do is teach people how to go the natural, organic route. I stir up trouble, too, because I throw out some things that a lot of people just don't think are correct. You know what? We have a lot of experience to back up what we recommend. Have healthier gardens and more fun gardening. Join me this and every weekend.
Join Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, every Sunday morning from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
Over the last 20 years, we've seen some dramatic changes in health insurance. Higher and higher premiums, more complex plans, limited providers, fewer choices. While the world searches for a way to make healthcare work, Medishare has been faithfully doing it. God's way, where Christians help Christians by sharing each other's medical bills. The cost savings are amazing, up to 60% lower than insurance premiums, and you never paid for things that go against your beliefs. Plus, you choose your own doctors from one of America's largest provider networks. Affordable, sensible, accepted. Medishare is healthcare that works.
Learn how thousands of Christians can help you save on your health care. For your free information guide, call 877-26-BIBLE. Not available in Montana. Medishare, affordable biblical health care. Call 877-26-BIBLE. That's 877-26-BIBLE.
If you're overwhelmed by debt and thinking about going to a credit counseling company for help, think again, because the majority of those companies actually work for the credit card companies. And they make the credit card companies a lot of money from people just like you. But there's another way out of debt, and it's not bankruptcy. A way to reduce your debts and save you thousands of dollars. Even better, you can find out how for free by calling 1-800-998-5539. At Freedom Debt Relief, we're not a